A service of KIBMradio.com, the Internet's home for an all-old-time radio.
Countdown for blast off. X-5, 4, 3, 2, X-1, fire. From the far horizons of the unknown come tales of new dimensions in time and space. These are stories of the future, adventures in which you'll live in a million, could be years, on 1,000 maybe worlds. The National Broadcasting Company, in cooperation with Galaxy Science Fiction Magazine, presents
X minus 1.
Tonight, End as a World by F.L. Wallace. But first, hear this.
When the place is fine and the time is right, when the moon is low and the stars are bright.
You make it Pabst, 'cause Pabst makes it perfect.
Yes, Pabst makes it perfect. Just as we always have ever since 1844. So next time, you make it Pabst, because Pabst makes it perfect. America's Blue Ribbon beer from the Pabst Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Yes, Pabst makes it perfect.
Now, X-1 and End as a World.
I saw it on the doormat in the front porch. The boy had made a lucky throw, and the paper was spread out neatly on the doormat facing me as I came out of the screen door. The headline was black across the top. They used the big type, the kind they use for presidential elections or when the town all-star Little League team won the national championship. I stood and looked at it through the screen door. I hadn't quite rubbed the sleep out of my eyes, so first all I saw was the little boxes of the screen. And then suddenly my eyes snapped into focus and I read it. This is the day the world ends.
Pete, come in and eat your breakfast.
Well, just a minute, Ma.
Now, you leave the newspaper alone. You can read it later. Come on now, the eggs are getting cold.
Yeah, but Ma, it's today.
Well, what's today?
Well, look at the headline. It's the only thing on the front page. Well, look.
This is the day the world ends. Oh, that. Well, world's end or no, I won't have you eating cold scrambled eggs. Now, you sit right down and eat your breakfast.
I brought the newspaper into the breakfast table. I turned to the sports page. The Dodgers were winning or losing, I forget which, and UCLA was strong and was going to beat everybody they met that fall. An H-bomb had been tested in the middle of the Pacific, blowing another island off the map, just as if we had islands to spare. Ordinarily, that would be on the front page, but not today.
Now, don't get the newspaper in the egg yolk.
All right, Ma.
Want some toast? Peter, do you want some toast?
All right, Ma. It was Saturday. Big things always seem to happen on Saturdays. I ate breakfast and got up. I had the usual things to do, like mowing the lawn, for instance, but I skipped it that day. There wasn't any use mowing a lawn on a day like that. I went out remembering not to slam the door. It wasn't much, but it showed thoughtfulness. I went past the church and looked at the sign that was set diagonally in the corner so I could read from both streets. There it was in big letters, quoting from the papers. This is the day the world ends. Dr. Davidson scheduled a prayer meeting for the calculated time. It was a bright day. People were out walking or just standing looking at the sky. It was too early to look up.
Hey, Pete! Pete, here you are. Catch!
Here. Hey! Who showed you how to throw a football? Hey, got this?
Hey, nice pass. Here you are, lateral.
I got it.
Here, throw me a long one, huh? I'll run out on that button hook.
No, look, I don't feel like it, not today.
What do we do? Oh, listen, the new issue of Popular Rocketry came in down at Grover's.
Yeah, I saw it.
Well, we could go down and see Howie.
All right.
Pete? Peter?
Hey, your mother wants you.
Yeah, what is it, Ma?
Now, don't go too far. I've got some things I want you to do.
What?
I want you to help me move some trash out of the basement and help me move some of the potted plants around in front.
Ma, what's the use of doing things like that on a day like today?
Never mind. Now, you come back by 11 o'clock, you hear?
No.
Oh, come on. Howie's probably down at Grover's. Hey, look at this high hurdle. I'll go right over the sign. Here I go. Olympic star Paul Smithfield.
He went up over the sign easily. Paul's on the track team in high school. I looked at the sign again as he went over the top. This is the day the world ends. They never said more than that, not in the newspapers or in the signs painted on the brick walls. They wanted it to hang in our minds, something we couldn't quite touch, but we knew was there. We walked along down Green Street toward Grover's.
Oh, what do you think of it?
What?
You know, today.
I don't know. What about you?
We got it coming.
Yeah, but will we get it?
I don't know. Hey, look. It's going to be nice and bright today.
Yeah, it is now.
Might cloud over.
Yeah, it won't matter. It'll split the sky when it comes.
Hey, you hear the new song? Some disc jockey wrote it. I love you, love you, love you.
Hey, sounds awful.
Oh, listen. I love you, love you, love you, till the day the world ends. I love you, love you, love you, till my heartbreak mends. And a lot more guff like that.
You know, it seems awful. I mean, making a song on a thing like that, you'd think they'd have more respect.
Well, why shouldn't they cash in on it? How about that contest on TV? What will you do on the day the world ends? In 25 words or less.
You know, some people will do anything for a buck.
Yeah.
You think they'd have some, I don't know, some understanding of how important it is.
Well, they do. You should see the souvenir stands on Main Street. You know, pennants saying the end of the world, stuff like that.
That's disgusting.
Grover's has an end of the world Sunday. Joey Tripp had one last night. It was really the end.
Yeah, he's a pig.
Yeah, it sure is. Boy, it was really something. With nuts on top.
You're listening to End as a World, tonight's attraction on X-1. Careful planning and sensible driving add up to an enjoyable vacation trip. There are a few tips from the National Safety Council that should help make your trip a pleasure instead of a tense, nerve-wracking time. Before you leave, have the car given a thorough checkup to be sure it will always respond properly to your careful control. Check the emergency equipment you'll need, such as a first aid kit, keys, permits, identification, flashlight, tire-changing equipment, and your unexpired driver's license. Plan your trip for frequent rest stops with a good night's sleep each night. And then on your trip, pay attention to the job at hand and don't daydream. Stop off the road to see the sights or read the map. Be prepared for winding and straight roads, level and hilly roads, and changing traffic patterns between urban and rural areas. Obey all speed limits, traffic signs, and signals, and keep your distance behind the driver ahead. This vacation is what you've been waiting for all year. Enjoy it with sensible driving. Now back to X-1. And End as a World.
We went on to find Howie. He's a little guy, but he can throw a football further and faster than anybody else on the team. Howie was carrying a model of a rocket ship, carbon dioxide powered.
Hey, let's see the model, Howie.
Doesn't work.
Well, what do we do?
I don't know. We could play Salugi.
No, we left the football over at Pete's.
Oh, might as well just sit down in the grass.
Okay.
Hey, I wonder if it'll really come.
Yeah, where will the president watch it from? They should have a good view from the White House.
No better than us right here.
What about Australia? Will they see it over there?
They'll see it all over.
Africa, too. And what about the Eskimos?
Doesn't matter whether they actually see it or not. It'll come to everyone at the same time.
Yeah, how about that? Everybody. Not just in this town, but all over. Wherever there are people and even where they're not.
You know what I keep thinking about?
What?
I keep thinking about the man who made the H-bomb. I bet he felt silly and spiteful blowing up an island. I mean, somebody might have wanted to live on it if he just left it there. You know?
Yeah, bet he'd feel pretty small with his old H-bomb after today. Pow.
My mother's over at the church praying.
What for?
She just said that's what she wanted to spend today doing, right up to the last minute.
You know, all the churches are holding prayer meetings.
Town board wanted to close up that carnival on Pearl Street. You know, the one with the cooch tent? They said it wasn't dignified for today.
They close it up?
Mm-mm. The manager said he had his license, and he didn't care if today was the day the world ended or not. He was putting on 5 shows right up till it happens.
Funny idea, those girls dancing and then, whoom, it happens. And nobody to look at them anymore.
I can't understand people. Shows and lawns and cleaning the trash out of the cellar on a day like this, it just doesn't make any sense.
Well, people get used to doing certain things.
Yeah, but today?
Even today. Well, that's how people are, I guess. Just gotta keep on with what they're doing, even if it doesn't make any sense.
Now, we talked about it for a while, but we talked it out long ago. There was really nothing new we could say. Every once in a while, we'd look up at the sky, but it wasn't going to come until it got here. Finally, I went home for lunch.
Now, you sit still and eat your lunch.
Oh, Ma.
It'll happen without your help. It's going to be all right.
You think so?
I think so. I'll give you your allowance now.
Yeah, but Ma, it's only Saturday. I don't get my allowance.
Well, I'll give it to you today anyway. You might as well spend it this afternoon downtown.
Gee, thanks, Ma.
All right, I won't keep you over lunch. You can run uptown and watch it from there.
Okay, Ma. You gonna go?
Of course I'm not. Why should I get into that mob? I can watch it just as well from here.
Ma, sure she could. It wasn't the same. Everybody I knew was going to be there. I changed my shirt before I left. I took a rag and wiped the dust from my shoes. I wasn't trying to be fussy or dressed up or anything. I just thought I should do it. I walked uptown slow because there was lots of time to kill. There was shade and sun on the streets and a few big clouds in the sky. I never knew how slow a day could pass. I suppose I should have slept late in the morning and kept busy doing something. Well, this was worse than putting on a uniform and waiting till game time. At least there was a coach on the field to let you know what to do as you ran through the drill. I ran into Paul at the corner of Cross and Chestnut.
Hey, you nervous?
No. Why should I be?
You're not in suspense? If only we had some way of knowing for sure. Radio, maybe.
Oh, there's no radio. The calculations have been checked.
Yeah, but maybe there's something we forgot or don't know. A lot of things can go wrong.
Hi, fellas.
Oh, hi,
Howie.
You want to go down to Grover's and get them molded?
I don't know.
Oh, we've still got lots of time. We won't miss anything.
We all went down and had malteds at Grover's. The television was on. They were showing a street in India with people looking up. They flashed all around Italy, China, and Brazil. Except for their clothes, it wasn't much different from here. They were all looking up.
Well, let's get outside.
I haven't finished my malted.
What's the difference on a day like today, huh?
I want to finish my malted.
Outside, I noticed there was a slight overcast. The big billowing clouds had passed, but this was worse. I hoped that it would clear away in time, not that it really mattered.
Hey, it's a pretty big crowd for a Saturday, huh?
Well, this isn't a usual Saturday.
What time is it?
I don't know. You got to watch, Paul?
No. We can see the clock on the merchant's block from the corner. Come on.
Hey, it's Ginny Wexelberg. See her over there?
Hey, how'd you like to spend the day with her? That'll really make it a big day, huh?
Oh, you don't need that old Ginny Wexelberg to make this a big day. After today, a blind 15-year-old kid isn't going to seem so important.
After today, nothing's going to seem important, huh?
Well, there's the clock. We still got plenty of time.
We just walked around. A few other kids from school passed by, and we stopped. It was getting closer. The space between the minutes was getting longer and longer.
Hey, I'm hungry. I want to go back and get a candy bar.
You're crazy. It's almost time.
I got a couple of minutes. Look.
Well, you just had them altered.
I don't know. I'm hungry. I mean, I got a right to eat a candy bar before it happens, don't I?
How can you think about food?
It's only 1 minute.
Well, all right. I just wanted to get one last candy bar, that's all.
You think we could see better if we went across the street?
It doesn't make any difference. It's going to be all over the world. There was still a minute to go, and I kept wondering if there'd been a miscalculation. Now we were all looking up. All over the world, people were looking up. It was quiet. You could hear them breathing. I sneaked a look across the street. Ginny Wexelberg was staring up, and she was crying. I kept wondering why a pretty girl like that should be crying. And then, just as I looked back at the sky, it happened. It came, the flash across the skies, a silver streak, the biggest vapor trail there ever was. It went from this side to that side in no time. It split the sky and was gone before the shockwave hit us. Nobody said anything. We stood there and shivered and straightened up after the rumbling sound passed.
You know what? It's going to go around the whole world.
Well, he did it.
Yeah, he did it.
Yeah, he sure did. All the way to Mars and back. Safe and right on schedule. You realize that? He did it. He did it. The first trip to Mars. He's back. He's safe. The factory whistles down by the river started blowing. The bells of the Baptist, the Congregationalists, and the Roman Catholic Church were ringing. We were all jumping up and down, shouting, screaming, laughing as the vapor trail slowly faded into the overcast. I grabbed a hold of somebody next to me, and all of a sudden I realized it was Ginny Wexelberg, and she kissed me, and I kissed her back. And we yelled louder than all the factory whistles. We had a right. It was just like the paper said. This was the day the world ended and the universe began.
This is Fred Collins, and I'll be back with a word about X-1 in a moment.
Hi, this is Walter O'Keefe. You know, they say there's nothing new under the sun, and maybe that's true, but there is something new under the moon, and that's Nightline. In Nightline, we think we found the way to use the intimacy as well as the lightning-fast maneuverability of radio in an hour-and-a-half package of high-voltage, different entertainment. We found the way to make the airwaves your magic carpet to wherever big things are happening. Anywhere in the country, for that matter, anywhere in the world. Now, let's say that your favorite comedian is performing at a Las Vegas nightclub. He's packing them in, and you've really got to have connections to get a table. Well, Nightline is that connection, and your radio is your ringside table. More things than you'd believe are happening in the so-called still of the night, and Nightline is your line to exciting entertainment after dark. My feeling is Nightline marks a new era in nighttime entertainment. Tune us in tonight over most of these NBC stations.
You have just heard X-1, presented by the National Broadcasting Company in cooperation with Galaxy Science Fiction Magazine, which this month features William Morrison's novelette, The Sly Bunger Hop. To Colmer, it was the chance of a lifetime. He could hear opportunity knock. But where in all creation was the door it knocked upon? Galaxy Magazine on your newsstand today. Tonight, X-1 has brought you End as a World, a story from the pages of Galaxy written by F.L. Wallace and adapted for radio by Ernest Kenoy. Featured in our cast were Jack Grimes as Pete, Larry Robinson as Paul, Peter Fernandez as Howie, and Alice Yorman as the mother. This is Fred Collins speaking. X-1 was directed by Daniel Sutter and is an NBC Radio Network production. Next week on X-1, another exciting story from the pages of Galaxy. The Scapegoat by Richard Maples. If you saw a big teenage young bully beating up a helpless old man on the street, what would you do? Try to stop it? Or save your own neck by just walking away? Well, this is the story of a man who did stop it. Of a newspaper reporter who not only rescued the old man, but took him home, hoping to develop a good angle for the newspaper series he was writing on juvenile delinquency. The Scapegoat tells of what happened then, of the terrible threat posed by this seemingly harmless old man to the unsuspecting reporter and his family. Be sure to hear it next week on X-1. Wondering what the weather will be like tomorrow night? Will it be cool? Will it be hot? Will it rain or not? Well, don't give it another thought, because NBC's Monitor has a weatherproof evening plan for you with excursions to 3 world-famous underground scenic spots. You'll go roving with Monitor on a 2.5-mile trip through Marble Cave in Missouri. You'll listen to the music of a stalactite organ in Luray Caverns, Virginia. And you'll visit the historic catacombs of Rome. Between trips underground, you'll hear another merry report on his vacation tour of Europe by comedian Jonathan Winters. And you'll rub elbows with international celebrities at a unique party in Toots Shor's famous restaurant in New York. There'll be music and news, too. In fact, there'll be something for everybody on Monitor. So start your weekend right with Monitor Friday night, and stay with Monitor all weekend long.
Nightline takes you to wherever exciting, interesting, and entertaining things are happening. Tonight, over most of these same NBC stations.
The Magic Island is once more a dread name to Mrs. Gregory and her little band of friends. When they made their escape from the island through messages carried to another boat by homing pigeons, things looked favorable for a few short hours, but now the future is as black as it could be painted. Recaptured by a Euclidean submarine and being towed back to the island by their submerged captor, Tex Bradford and Jerry Hall are on the deck, wondering what their fate will be. Mrs. Gregory and her daughter Joan are aboard the submarine. As Jerry and Tex notice a sudden list to starboard, the old skipper comes running with the news that they're shipping water through a bad hole in the hull, chopped by the Euclidean who was their prisoner.
You're sure of that, Skipper?
Aye.
But how could that guy get loose? He was tied down with everything in the hold.
Wasn't enough, though, Jerry. He's gone. Kicked the side out of our boat doing it. We've got to do something about slapping a patch on that hole, so the submarine won't have to bother to tow us much farther.
Well, let's go and see what we can do about them, Tex.
Hold it a minute, Jerry. Think you and McLeod can get a patch over that hole, Skipper?
Aye.
But without motors, we haven't got any pumps.
No.
Well, shove off, Skipper, and get Mac working on that thing. If you can't stop it, we'll signal the sub to take us aboard.
Aye.
And sound out for us if you can't handle it.
Aye.
Gosh, the skipper looks like he'd just as soon drown as get on board that submarine.
Can't blame him much for that, son.
Things look pretty bad, don't they, Tex?
Well, they have looked brighter, but we won't give up.
I hope Mrs. Gregory and Joan are all right in that crazy Euclidean submarine.
Jerry, my optimism has led me into trouble more than once. But I can't believe that we won't find our way out of this somehow.
I'm not scared about it. Well, yes, I am. Plenty scared. But we've been on the island before, and we got away from it. Why can't we do it again?
Well, they won't be disposed to treat us quite so kindly this time.
I don't know about that. Now, look, Captain Bradford, I think there must be some mighty good reason for wanting us to stay alive. Maybe it's your formula for the universal solvent. Maybe it's for what they think we know about our world that they don't know. But whatever it is, if they were going to do anything to us, well, why don't they just sink this boat and let it go at that?
Well, that's one way to look at it, Jerry. And it's pleasant to look at it that way. They may decide to bring a little more pressure to bear on us this time.
You mean torture you into giving them the formula?
I wouldn't put it past them.
But, gee, Tex, you'd give up the formula before you'd let them... Well, wouldn't you?
Yes, Jerry, I'm afraid I would. There's very little satisfaction in being put out of the way entirely. If worse comes to worse, I'll give them the real formula and take a chance on beating them to the use of it.
Well, we'll have to try and make another escape then.
We'll have to do that anyway if they give us a chance, but it won't be so easy now.
Yeah, and they probably won't let us live on this boat.
Not much chance of that, unless they don't trust us on the island. After what you and Joan did to them, they're not sure how dangerous we may be.
Not really dangerous to them. Well, they could get rid of us in a minute if they wanted to.
Sure, but now they don't want to. They wouldn't be taking us back to the island so carefully.
Hey, the boat's riding better now.
Seems to be on more even keel. Mac and the skipper must have been able to stick something in that hole. Riding low in the water, though. We ship plenty of moisture.
Well, it can sink if it wants to. just so we land on something.
I managed to smuggle most of my instruments on this boat with us. They'll take those away the minute we get back to the island.
Well, I guess there's no use guessing. But golly whiskers, I'm nervous about what they're going to do to us.
We won't be in doubt long. At this speed, we'll reach the island in an hour, possibly less.
Hey, Tex. Tex, did you hear that?
I did hear something. Sounded like our radio. Jerry, maybe we've got juice enough left in those batteries to pick up a carrier wave.
No, it wasn't that. It was a ray gun.
A ray gun?
Yeah, one of those Euclidean ray guns, like the two Joan and I took away from that guard we took prisoner.
But where could it come from?
I don't know.
Oh, you must be imagining things, kid. That was a radio squeal.
No, it wasn't, Tex. I've heard all sorts of noises come out of radio sets, but none of them made my hair stand on end like this one did. There's something about the high whine of those ray guns. It sounds... There it goes again.
Yeah, I heard it plenty enough that time. Those things certainly have an unearthly wail. Where did it come from?
Sounded right under our feet.
How could it come from there? Will they work underwater?
Not very well, and not that loud.
I wonder.
What?
That Euclidean guard we had tied up in the hold.
But he's gone. Escaped when he cut that hole in the boat, just about daylight.
He's gone? Where did he go?
On board the sub, I suppose.
He couldn't have boarded that sub, Jerry. We saw the hatch and the nose open. No one went in there but that woman submarine commander and Mrs. Gregory and Joan.
No, not in the hatch.
Well, where else?
Well, those subs have an airlock. He could have been taken aboard while he was swimming underwater, and we couldn't possibly have seen him.
Then he's been in the water all the time. I remember that we had no power. He could have ridden that rudder post for hours with comparative ease.
But who would he be shooting those ray guns at?
Maybe the skipper or Mac stuck their heads up over the stern.
No, they're still below.
Below, that's it, kid. Scatter for that stern hatch, quick. And walk on your toes now. Don't make a sound.
What's up?
That Euclidean never left this boat.
He what?
I'm sure of it. He knocked that hole in the side to make it look like an escape. Then he hid in the hole until the skipper and Mac fixed the leak. Now that he's in no danger of drowning, he used that ray gun to put the boys to sleep. We'll meet him at the hatch and fix him up with a little nap.
We mustn't use a ray gun on him.
Why not?
Well, the girl sub-commander is supposed to have our ray guns. And if we use one now, this guy will know we still have them.
Good boy, Jerry. You think fast sometimes. All right, now look. We'll sneak up on each side of that companionway. He can't see us till he hits the deck with 1 foot. We'll let him have it.
But his ray gun.
Can't put more than one of us to sleep with one shot. And the other one can have him tapped on the air by that time.
Okay, Tex.
Now, not a sound till we land him.
Yeah. Gee. Whew. But that guy was hard to handle. Tex. Hey, Tex.
Feel a little sleepy, Jerry.
Oh, come on. Walk around with me. I'll help you.
That ray gun.
You just about hit the end of your fingers with it. If you try hard, maybe you can walk it off and stay away.
Not yet, but I'll try.
Oh, come on, then. Try.
Sure, I'll try.
Now, lean on me as heavy as you want to.
How did you fix our friend?
Well, I didn't have anything to hit him with, but I got a chance to jerk his head against the combing. He'll be quiet for a while.
Good boy, Jerry. Is the boat rolling a lot, or are my legs just unsteady?
Well, the water's beginning to boil around this rail. I'll bet that blamed sub is coming up again.
No, it feels like we've lost seaway.
Well, I should have noticed that a long time ago. We're not making any way at all. They've dropped our bow anchor. And there goes the nose of the blame thing.
You know, someday that girl's going to tip the boat over. Coming up under it like a whale.
Oh, not that girl. She's too smart. And what she can't do with that submarine isn't worth doing.
You know, Jerry, that's the weirdest sight. End of a sub sticking straight up out of the water and just as steady as a lighthouse.
Hey, here comes the commander. I can see her hand coming up on the bow platform.
Yeah, and you still insist that girl is a friend of ours?
I know she is. Now sit up straight as you can.
All right, but I can't see very well, kid.
Keep your face pointed toward the noise of her voice. I'll do the talking.
What is the meaning of this?
Meaning of what?
That boat is becoming harder to move. I should think, Hall, that you would realize the hopelessness of your situation by this time and attempt no foolish moves.
Well, we can't help it if your Euclidean prisoner escaped and cut a hole in our boat, can we?
Where is the Euclidean guard now?
Oh, he's back there at the stern somewhere.
And what is he doing?
Taking a little nap last time I saw him.
Have you nothing to say, Captain Bradford?
Well, no. The captain, he's,
I understand perfectly. The captain is asleep.
He's mighty tired.
You haven't forgotten my teaching so quickly, have you, Hall? A ray gun will register on my instrument.
Yeah, that's right. Well, you know, what's the matter with Tex, then? That Euclidean we thought was safely tied up in the hole was hiding somewhere in the boat. and he used his ray gun on the engineer and our skipper. And when we tried to catch him, well, Tex got a little of it, too.
What was the size of the gun?
Well, one of those little 300 seconds, like we had once.
That is well. And the guard is where now?
Well, he got rough with us back there near the engine room hatch, and I had to bump his head on the combing to keep him quiet.
You will do well to guard him closely until I deliver you safely to G47. That man will not hesitate to harm you.
No. I suppose you think old G47 is going to give us a picnic.
G47 will give you what he thinks your case warrants. Is the leak in your boat sufficiently repaired to indicate possibility of successfully towing you to Euclidia?
Well, it stopped leaking, if that's a big enough answer for you.
Your attempts to converse with me as an equal are rather futile, are they not?
Maybe so, but I get 'em said.
You have said far too much. I will resume my position under your bow, and the bow anchor will be picked up by the stern magnetic fin. We will reach the island in 1800 seconds.
Oh, half an hour, huh? Okay, Skipper. We'll hang on. How are Mrs. Gregory and Joan?
They are in my care.
That might mean anything.
Indeed, it might.
Whiskers. Now, this is a fine pickle. McLeod and the old skipper asleep in the hold, and Tex sleeping on the rail, and, well, if that guard starts up this way, I hope I can handle him.
I'll help you, kid.
Oh, gee, Tex, are you all right?
Well, I have felt better, but I'm waking up a little, and I can tell what goes on around me.
Well, the sub is going under again, and she'll be picking up our bow anchor any minute.
How much time did she say we had before we get to the island?
Half hour. Why?
Well, we might have a chance to plan a little something, but the hope isn't very strong.
And that Euclidean back there at the stern won't stay asleep much longer. If that's only a 300-second ray gun, he ought to be coming out of it now.
That sub just picked up our anchor?
Yeah, we're starting to move now. And the commander said only 1,800 seconds to Euclidean.
Oh, forget the 1,800-second stuff, Jerry. Let's talk like white people for the few minutes we have left.
Well, that stuff gets me, though. I'm getting so I talk just like those Euclideans.
Yeah, not exactly, but...
Hey! Here comes that Euclidean guard, sneaking around the corner of the aft cabin.
I can't see very well. Has he got his ray gun?
Sure he has.
Then you'll have to use yours if he crowds it.
But that way, he'll find out we have them.
And he'll find it out anyway if he puts us to sleep and searches us.
Tex, wait a minute. I think we're going to be all right.
What's going on?
The old skipper. He's in his bare feet, sneaking up behind that Euclidean.
Has he got a gun?
No, but he's got a monkey wrench. And he's going to use it. Oh, boy, what a sock.
Did the skipper get him, Jerry?
I'll say he got him. And he'll be asleep longer than any of those ray guns would be good for. That old skipper can sure use a monkey wrench.
Back to the Magic Island. That strange artificial island called Euclidia, which held the Gregory party prisoner for so long, is to become their stopping place once more. When Mrs. Gregory, Joan, Jerry, and Captain Bradford made their escape on a small cabin cruiser, with their faithful old skipper and the Scotch engineer McLeod, all seemed well. But the Euclideans are not so easily beaten. The submarine, commanded by the beautiful young woman whom the Euclideans call Commander, has brought them back to the island. The surface of the island is above water now, and apparently the Euclideans feel no danger near them, as Euclidia is open to view from all sides. Jerry and Tex Bradford are standing at the bow of the boat as they drift slowly but steadily to the island.
Gee, Captain Bradford, this is almost like it was the first time we landed here.
Yes, Jerry, except that we had high hopes then.
Well, we're not done yet.
That's right, we're not whipped. Things could look more pleasant.
It feels just as weird as it did that first time. The boat without any power, being pulled to that island just as smoothly as if they had a line tied to it.
They might as well have one. That eternal magnetic force will pull in any boat on the ocean. They must feel mighty sure of themselves today. They're not using the magnetic fog ring around the island.
Yeah, I noticed that too. And it's a clear day. Say, there isn't a soul in sight on the island.
Our arrival can't be of much importance.
I'll bet it's plenty important.
That sub must be docked down there by now.
Well, sure it is. They ram the nose of that thing right into an airlock on the side of the island and unload through the nose. Gee, I wonder where Mrs. Gregory and Joan are now.
That woman commander has probably turned them over to G47 for questioning.
Oh, I wish you and I could be there to help them out. You know, it needs a man at a time like this.
You're right, Jerry. But I'm afraid we'll be some time getting back together.
Well, they may keep us apart from now on.
Wouldn't surprise me a bit.
We're going to have a harder time escaping.
We'll have no chance at all to escape. Jerry, our only hope will be to take over this island, and that's a job.
Well, I wish they'd start something. This dragging along up to the pier without seeing anyone move on the island is getting on my nerves.
Somebody will be out to take care of us. Don't be in a hurry for your punishment.
Now we're sliding along the pier, and the boat is being warped in as carefully as you could do it with a line.
Not quite as impressive as the first time they did it to us, though. We've seen it before.
Hey, Tex, look.
That magnetic fog ring being thrown up around us now, eh?
Yeah, and all around the island.
When that fog closes in, you can feel the power of this mad island.
You know, Euclidia becomes mighty real, all right, when you see them shutting us off from the world just as easy as we turn off the gas jet back home.
And I think we're going to get our welcome before long.
Why?
Isn't that one of their elevator housings rising up out of the island?
Yeah, but that's funny. There wasn't any elevator there when we were here before.
Steady, Jerry. Things are wild enough here without allowing yourself any daydreams.
Well, I know what I'm talking about, Tex. That elevator wasn't there when we were here before. They must have built it.
Jerry, when we were here before means last night.
Huh?
Don't you realize we've been off this island only a matter of hours?
Golly whiskers. You're right. And they couldn't have rebuilt that island and stick in another elevator shaft that fast.
Of course they couldn't. So you must be mistaken.
No, I'm not mistaken. I don't know how that elevator got there so quick, but there wasn't any elevator on this side of the island yesterday.
Wait a minute, I've got it, kid. We're coming in from the south this time.
Oh, no, we're not. And you know we're not. That island's been turned around.
Turned around?
I'm not dreaming, Tex. Look at the position of the defense chambers and the main radio room. And look at this pier. It's on the north side of the island. Just the same position they pulled us into before. But it isn't the same pier.
But you realize what you're saying, Jerry.
Sure I do.
Then you think they can move this island? I don't mean just submerge it and then raise it again as we saw them do. I mean actually move the entire island?
I'm as sure as I'm standing here that they've already moved it.
Huh. And we're going to escape from a setup like this? Huh.
Maybe we'd better not talk any more about what we're going to do. Here comes the Euclideans.
Say, that was an elevator. There's an even dozen men coming over here.
And every one of them are carrying those big ray guns.
They're not just sleep producers like the ones we...
Careful.
Sure.
No, those guns put you to sleep so you won't wake up at all.
Then listen, we'll do exactly as they say.
Wait, this spooky place is beginning to get me going again. Look at all those fellas walking right up to us. And their heavy shoes not making a sound. You know, they're walking on rocks.
It's that noiseless paint again. Well, our freedom is over, son. Now keep your chin up.
Right. And I'll let you do all the talking.
Yes, I hope they give me a chance to talk. Their faces don't look as if they'd come for a friendly chat.
Oh, let them start it.
Good idea. Well?
Guess we just stand and look at each other.
Well, what do you want us to do? Won't somebody say something?
I will.
Better not, Jerry.
Oh, at least they can loosen up enough to make motions.
Yes, and they want us to come over on the pier.
Wonder if they'll let us get McLeod and the skipper, too.
How about our friends? Do we bring them along?
The answer is no. And they're getting tired waiting for us, I'm afraid.
Well, we may as well go. Now, look, don't make any passes at them.
Don't worry, I won't. Boy, those old footsteps sound pretty good. You may not hear any more of them for a long time.
No, that soundproof paint will spoil all that.
Well, here we are. What now?
Follow you? No? Oh, I see. Get in the middle, son.
Nice place to be with a ring of those ray guns all around us. Hey, I don't need to stick that thing into my ribs.
Easy, Jerry. They want us to go along with them. Let's go and save our conversation for some other time.
Yeah, if we get a chance to use it at all. All right, I'll keep quiet.
I don't see any reason why we can't talk. Everyone on this island can hear us, so they don't have to worry about anything we might say.
Well, I guess we can talk all right, just so as we don't get in the wrong cracks.
And we'd better say nothing.
Say, that is a new elevator. Are we going down in that thing?
No questions, kid.
No answers either, but it looks like we are.
We are.
You never had a ride in one of these things, did you?
Not as many as you and Joan had.
You know, some of them do tricks with you.
Well, these kind gentlemen are going to ride with us, Jerry. They'll probably experience nothing out of the ordinary.
Watch this operate now.
I'm watching.
And listen, wait till the big magnet grabs the car. You can count the floors as we pass.
Jerry, we're dropping now.
Yeah, and I didn't hear any magnet.
That's more like a hydraulic to me, or compressed air.
My stomach tells me we're going down pretty fast.
At least I haven't been able to count any floors.
Oh, boy, what a ride. Ooh.
Looks like we get out here, Jerry.
I wonder which level we're on.
Our steps sound awfully loud here. All right, fellow, I'll go. No need to get so rough about it.
You know, G47 has told these boys to handle us pretty rough.
Yeah, well, they're doing it. Might as well go where they want us to.
Well, I never saw this part of the island before. Hey, Tex.
What?
Listen.
To what?
To our voices. We're in one of those blame echo chambers where everything sounds about twice as loud as it is.
There is a hollow ring to it, all right. Well, this is the end of the passage, so I judge we'll stop here.
I think they want us to go on in.
We go in without you? Okay. Come on, Jerry.
Well, at least we're alone.
Yes, with about 100 microphones picking up every sound we make, I suppose.
Well, I wish we could get out of this blame echo thing.
What are we supposed to do here, I wonder?
Well, this looks like a little hall, and I can see 4 doors. Let's start knocking on doors and see who lives here. We're in a steel cell, and that's for sure.
Yes, the way that door clanged shut behind us didn't leave much doubt as to that.
Think it's all right if I knock on the door?
Might as well find out where we are.
Okay, here goes. Golly whiskers.
You shouldn't knock so hard, Jerry.
I didn't. I just...
Oh, Tex!
Tracy, are you all right?
It's right. John and I are all right, Tex, and you and Jerry?
Not hurt a bit, Pat.
Our outlook has not been particularly pleasant during this enforced separation. Your welfare has given us some concern.
Well, you're okay, Joan. Whenever you start to unwind the dictionary, I can tell you're right side up and ready for another round.
It does seem as if your attempts at conversation grow more confusing and illogical with each attempt.
Oh, is that so?
Now, you two kids stop quarreling.
Oh, I don't mind it, Tex. The last few hours have proven to me that I can stand anything if only we're all together.
How much chance have we to stay together on this island?
Our hurried observations made during a brief tenancy of this apartment would warrant a conclusion that we will all be confined in this series of chambers, with many privileges.
You couldn't work in something about the privilege of escaping, could you?
Quiet, Jerry. Someone may be hearing all we say.
We know they are. Joan says these walls are made of transparent steel, and that they can watch us from the outside at all times. But I see no reason why we shouldn't talk as we please. G47 and his assistants will know that escape is our one thought.
Yeah, and that's probably a lot of wasted thinking.
Indubitably.
Probably all's all right.
Now, will you two be quiet for a minute till we have a chance to look around? How about closing this door?
It's not necessary. That short outer hall is ours, and we have 4 private rooms here, all connected by the hall.
Well, it looks as if we're going to be comfortable for the present.
And there is a refrigeration chamber well stocked with food and appliances for its preparation. It would appear that we are to be left alone to our own devices, for the time at least.
Good. Maybe we can figure something out. If we only had our stuff off the boat.
We'll have that, Jerry. The submarine commander told us our possessions would be brought to us in time.
Yes, after G47 has looked them over carefully, of course.
The little homing pigeons we are to have here.
Golly whiskers, that's swell.
What good will the pigeons do us, Jerry? Don't forget, we're 90 feet below the surface of the ocean, in a steel chamber on an artificial island.
It doesn't sound like much of a picnic when you add it up that way, Pat. Pigeons or airships. Nothing can do us much good here.
Well, they must be going to do something with us. What is it?
This confinement with the continuous reverberation of our voices will rapidly reach the state of exquisite torture.
Joan, dear, you think this terrible echo is deliberate? A method of punishment?
I know it is, Mother. During my lifetime on this island, many people have been placed in these echo cells, and it is only a short time until they will do anything G47 desires to escape from their own voices.
Yes, I can see how that would work. It wouldn't be long until the sound of voices here would drive one mad.
Oh, gee, we've got to talk, or we'd go mad anyway.
program you are about to hear is largely fiction, science fiction. We make no guarantees, however, how long it will remain fiction.
Exploring Tomorrow. And now, here is your guide to these adventures of the mind, John Campbell, Jr.
The philosophers down the ages have hassled a long time and with many words about the good, the true, and the beautiful. The true, well, that can be defined pretty objectively. But there's a peculiar thing about beautiful. What is beauty? And in whose terms? Makes it difficult.
With the story of The Adventure of the Beauty Queen, which stars Miss Charlotte Sheffield, Miss United States of 1958.
Beauty is a much more complicated problem than the question of truth, actually. A truth is an eternal thing. If it's true, it's true, and that's that. But beauty is appropriate. It changes as the situations change. It changes with time. I wonder how our own concepts of beauty, that is, our human race's concepts of beauty, will change as time goes by. Let's suppose that a famous young woman of our time, Miss United States, if you like, is awakened in her sleep by an alien presence, a strange force she feels but cannot see. It's something she knows is there.
Who are you?
You know I am here.
Yes.
Can you see me?
No.
Nor can I see you. But I am conscious I am with you.
Dreams, of course.
No, it's real.
Who are you?
A man who in your terms belongs to the distant future. I am unborn in the way you think of it. And to me, you have been dead over 1,000 years, were I back in my own orbit.
Someone's playing a joke.
No, this is no joke. But please, don't be afraid. I mean no harm.
You're dead 1,000 years. Whoever you are, what are you talking about?
Listen to me. Try to understand. I belong to a race of scientists. In simple words you can understand, we have a device which enables us to project ourselves into the past. You belong to the past. Do you understand?
Yes.
The device has made me conscious of you for a long time. I have used it to explore the past, and in these explorations, I have searched for the highest form of human beauty.
How do you know whether or not I'm beautiful if you can't see me?
The device tells me you're beautiful. Beauty, real beauty, is a force that transmits itself, that can be picked up by a form of radar. Please understand, I'm only using terms I think you can follow. In my own orbit, I would not even talk to a child in such simple terms.
Go away. Please go away.
I can't. I'm in love with you.
What?
In love with you.
In love?
Yes. Very much. Is it funny?
Oh, yes.
I don't think it is.
But it is.
Do women of your time always laugh at a man's love?
Oh, don't be silly. I wasn't laughing at you.
Well, then at what?
I just thought it was very funny. The idea of your being in love with a blip on a radar screen. After all, that's about what I am to you, isn't it?
Oh, no.
It must be.
No. The radar screen, as you call it, simply picked you up, pointed you out to us.
Us?
My associates and I.
Oh.
I felt very strongly drawn to you. I convinced my associates to conduct further experiments, actual contact with someone out of the past. You. I had to know you. I had to come into orbit with you.
Look, don't you think this joke has gone far enough?
I told you this is not a joke.
Of course it is.
Well, you
Oh, don't you suppose I know what's going on? Well, I should have thought of it a long time ago.
What is going on?
Why, it's very simple. Someone installed a radio pickup in this room. And you're talking to me through a microphone.
Talking to you?
You are, aren't you?
Oh, no.
What do you mean, no?
I'm not talking to you in the way you think I am. I'm projecting to you.
Oh, please stop this.
It's not your voice I hear. I'm receiving impulses from you, not actual words. The device I mentioned interprets the nature of your impulses, translates them into my language. It does the same for you.
It's true. I don't hear your voice. Not as a sound, I mean.
You begin to realize.
Oh, please stop.
No, don't be afraid.
Don't be afraid. You must be insane to say that. I'm scared out of my life. I want to scream. I'm afraid to. I'm not even sure I'm awake. I'm not even sure I'm alive.
You're alive. In your century. Now, understand what I'm telling you. In a moment, you'll be drawn out of your orbit, projected into the future, into my orbit. I want to see you. I want to see if you're as beautiful as your impulses say you are. If you are, I'm afraid I'll keep you where I am in the future.
No, I don't believe any of it. You're mad. Whoever you are, you're quite insane.
Are you receiving me?
Yes.
Don't be afraid. You're in limbo. On your way into my orbit.
Exploring Tomorrow continues in just a moment.
All of us, as American citizens, believe in our inherent liberties and freedoms, such as the freedom of the individual to choose and elect his own national representatives. It has been said that there is only one ruling class in America, the people themselves, who, through their vote, have established the law of our land. The real importance of this freedom depends on our accepting the responsibility not only to know what we are voting for or against, but also to choose our leaders for the best interests of the nation. So, accept your responsibility and ensure your freedom.
Of all things men have discussed and considered today, time is the one of which we know least. We know how to travel in space, and recent physical work has indicated that actually things can travel backwards as well as forwards in time, but we know nothing about it. And one of the things that would be strange on this, how long does it take to travel through time? When you are traveling through time itself, how long does it take to go from now to then? How long was Miss United States in that limbo before she was there?
I'm talking to you. I'm projecting to you. Are you receiving me?
Yes.
Are you afraid?
A little.
Not as much as you thought you'd be.
No.
Have you any idea of where you are?
I'm in a room. That's all I know.
I'm in the next one. We're on the 500th floor of the Institute of Technical Research in the city of Columbia. In your century, I believe you called it Washington.
Washington?
You understand, this is America.
I'm glad to hear that. At least.
Yes, I can see it relieves you.
You can see me?
Very clearly.
And am I?
Are you what?
Well, what you expected me to be.
To some extent.
Do you find me unattractive?
Alien.
Alien?
Different.
Yes, I know the meaning of the word.
At first, I was conscious of a sense of shock when I first saw you.
At least you're frank.
Well, I'm a scientist.
Do you find me ugly?
I said alien. Of course, I knew you would be. I didn't expect you to measure up physically to our standards. The human form has improved a great deal since your century.
But why? Was there a reason?
Man-made reasons.
Can you tell me?
Well, it began with interplanetary wars conducted by the nations of the world. The struggle to build empires in outer space on other planets.
When was this?
Oh, not in your century. You saw only the first feeble attempts to explore space.
Yes, I suppose our attempts are feeble.
Well, the interplanetary wars did a great deal of destruction, particularly on this planet. Precious documents, books, records were lost. But there was another result. The atmosphere of the Earth became charged with radioactive matter. For a while, it looked as though the human race had become extinct, but it didn't. The human body acclimated itself to new atmospheric conditions and flourished again. But by that time, our physical form had changed. It changed for the better. And today...
Go on.
Well, today, the human form is the most beautiful creation has ever seen.
And by your standards, I am something of a shock to you.
Your physical form was, at first, yes.
Am I very different from the women here?
Very different.
To you, they're beautiful.
They are beautiful.
Would I find them attractive?
I don't think so.
I might.
Oh, no.
Why not? If they're so beautiful, I mean.
Well, your conception of beauty is not ours.
I understand that, but...
But what?
I don't know. I was going to say that beauty is beauty, but that wouldn't make any sense.
No, the concept of beauty is what matters.
But you said beauty is a force. It radiates.
The inner beauty radiates.
I understand that, too.
Well, how do you think of the universe?
Oh, I think I associate it with God. I identify it with the divine mind.
I'm surprised.
The universe is a reflection of God.
Now I begin to understand why, in spite of your physical form, your beauty reached me. And it has nothing to do with your looks.
I wouldn't be very gracious if I didn't say thank you.
I'm going to keep you here, you know, if I can.
I don't think you quite mean that.
I mean it in every sense. I want you now to remember what I've said about the change for the better in human form. I'm going to open the door to your room and come in. Now, please keep in mind that I do not look as the men of your century looked, but also remember that here I'm I'm supposed to be a reasonably good-looking fellow.
I would like to see you.
Well, you will. In the next few seconds.
That which is beautiful and befitting, appropriate, depends on the environment it's in. The future people have had to undergo some rather complete changes to meet the environment that, shall we say, we, their ancestors, had imposed on them. A little too much radioactivity. And that which was beautiful is no longer befitting. The thing that is now befitting we might not think of as particularly beautiful.
Is it so bad?
I'm sorry.
I should not have exposed myself to the shock you feel, to the revulsion you feel at the sight of me.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I should have known.
Forgive me. I just can't look at you for a moment. I have to adjust.
There's a window behind you. You can look out.
Oh, thank you. Please, don't resent me.
No, I was just wondering if you have any idea how incredible to me your revulsion is.
Yes, I think I have an idea.
You must overlook what sounds like vanity, but I have to repeat what I told you before. I'm supposed to be more than passably good-looking.
Yes, I understand.
But you can't stand the sight of me.
Give me a moment. Are you looking at me?
Yes.
Does it still hurt you?
No. No, I'm too conscious of your inner beauty.
I'm very grateful.
I'm curious about something.
Yes?
Are you conscious of any of my impulses?
I think so.
Do you find them hostile?
No.
Alien?
No.
Do they cause you any fear?
I don't think so.
Well, forgetting how I appear to your eyes, do you like me?
Yes. Yes, I think you must be a very nice person.
The curious thing is...
Yes?
I was going to say, the curious thing is I'm still in love with you.
You mustn't be.
Perhaps love is a dimension.
I don't know. I'm too confused to think about it.
Or perhaps it's an orbit we enter or leave. I don't know either. It was just a thought.
You can't examine love through a microscope, can you?
Well, it's been exposed to every kind of study for centuries. Even the people of your time knew its reactions to be purely chemical. Of course, your poets didn't agree, but then neither do ours.
Do you have poets?
Oh, yes, we have them. They resist us. They call themselves the last human barrier against science. They refuse to understand what basic science is.
What is it?
Well, isn't it man's eternal craving to find out more about the universe, or the divine mind?
Let me go back.
Go back?
Please.
How can you even want to go back? Look, what do you see through that window? Nothing but beauty. Miles of emerald green fields with cities that sparkle like diamonds rising out of them. Nothing but prosperity. Prosperity and peace. And you want to go back to your miserable century?
To my people. To my own people. I belong with them. I don't belong here.
I'll tell you something. We're being observed, listened to by my associates.
Observed?
Well, the final decision must come from them. I'm as much a part of this experiment as you are, even though it was my idea. My idea. Now that we've succeeded in drawing you out of your orbit into ours, I don't think our science will release you. We can learn a great deal from you about the things of your century. Besides, I love you. I want to keep you here.
Please. Please don't touch me. Please don't touch me. Dream. That's all it was. It's all it was. It couldn't have been anything else. It couldn't have been.
There are parts of beauty that are eternal, that are not like the physical that changes, but the beauty of a true and honest personality. This sort of beauty, that will endure. There are things that you can rely on as time goes by. Woman needs man, man must have his mate. On this you can rely. The only thing is, the definition of man and woman will tend to change with the passing of ages. But the fundamental things apply. An honest man and an honest woman. These we need forever.
Join us for a fascinating adventure in Exploring Tomorrow. Heard in our cast tonight were Brett Morrison and the real Miss United States of 1958, Charlotte Sheffield. Script was by John Fleming. Produced and directed by Sanford Marshall here in New York. Guy Wallace speaking.
We pause now for station identification.
Presenting the transcription feature, Superman.
And now, Superman, strange visitor from the planet Krypton, who came to Earth with powers and abilities far beyond those of mortal men, and who fights a never-ending battle against crime and injustice, disguised as Clark Kent, mild-mannered reporter for a great metropolitan newspaper. Today begins for Superman an adventure which, if not the oddest in his career, is certainly the most mysterious. An adventure filled with action, suspense, and some of the strangest characters we have yet met. Our story begins in the office of Editor White at the Daily Planet. Listen.
Eh? Oh, come in, Ken. Come in, Jimmy. All packed and ready to start, I see.
Yes, Chief. Jimmy and I have come to say goodbye.
Shiver my timbers if we haven't.
What?
Our duffel's all ready and we're all set to shove off.
Listen to the old salt.
Oh, salt.
Oh, gosh, Mr. Kent, if we're going around the world on the last of the clipper ships, I gotta talk so the crew will understand me, don't I?
They'll understand you without all that nautical gibberish. Now, sit down, you two. The Clara M doesn't sail for another hour, and I've got some things to talk over with you, Kent.
Gosh, Mr. White, we've got to get on board and stow our duffel.
If you don't stow your talk, young man, you won't go aboard at all.
Now, don't mind Jimmy, Chief. He's just bubbling over with excitement and anxious to get started. What did you want to talk to me about?
I just want to be sure, Kent, that you understand what you're to do on this voyage you're taking.
Oh, now, Chief, we've been over this 100 times since you first thought of the idea.
And we'll go over it 100 more if I think it necessary. I want to be sure you understand the articles you're going to write from every angle.
Sometimes, Chief, I find myself feeling sorry the owner of this paper ever bought the Clara M.
Oh, gosh, I don't. I think of the places we're going to. South America, Borneo, India, Africa. Gosh, I get so excited I can hardly talk. Blow me down if I don't.
I'll blow you down with pleasure if you don't shut up.
Yes, sir.
Now, Kent, as you know, this is all in the way of a publicity campaign to build circulation for the paper. The Clara M is the last of the old clipper ships. That's going to be your lead.
Last of the clipper ships. I've got it.
Into these articles you're going to write, you've got to put all the romance, all the color of the Clara M's past, contrasting that with the future that awaits her.
Yes?
This is her last voyage, Kent. When you return with her, Mr. Barwick, the owner of the paper, plans to tie her up to a dock and turn her into a marine museum.
Sure, Chief. But look, I know all this, and we're anxious to get down to the ship.
I want to be sure that you know it. Barwick's all excited about this idea of his. And these articles you're going to write, Kent, telling how it feels to be making this romantic voyage in the last of the clipper ships, have got to be great stuff. Now, just let's be sure you've got your facts straight. The Clara M was built in 1889.
1879, Mr. White. Excuse me.
What's that?
Yes, sir. Her keel was laid in June of the year 1878 at Aberdeen, Scotland, and she cleared from that city for the first time in August of 1879. She was built for speed in the China tea trade. Her hull is of teak, her decks are mahogany, and...
All right, Jimmy. All right. I guess you'll concede, Chief, there's hardly anything you can tell us about the Clara M.
Excuse me. Yes? Who wants to see me? Mr. Barnaby. What do you want? Oh, won't say, eh? I see. Well, tell him to wait. Well, Kent, it looks as if you and young Moby Dick here have everything straight. Put all you've got into the articles you send back. Make people buy the Daily Planet just to read what you've got to say about the last of the clipper ships. Is that understood?
Don't worry, Chief.
Well, I won't be seeing you two for a long time. Good luck and bon voyage.
Thanks, Chief. All right, Jim, pick up your duffel and let's shove off.
Aye, aye, sir.
Oh, tell Miss Kenyon to send Mr. Barnaby in, will you?
Right. Goodbye, Chief. Goodbye,
Right.
sir.
Goodbye.
Miss Kenyon, you can send Mr. Barnaby in.
I hate to see those two go. Gonna miss them. But I'd never let them know it. Well, I guess I'd better...
Ahoy, mate.
Oh, what the... Mr. Barnaby?
Aye, same.
Sit down.
Hold it, dear, I'm sure. I'll move this chair back from your desk, you might see, and I've got to keep my leg out in front of me, and I'll need the rope.
Leg?
Aye, mate. It's made of teak. The finest this side of the China Sea. That's why I'm called Teak Barnaby. Count on my leg.
Oh, I see. What can I do for you?
Yep. Being a good seafarer man, I'll steer my course straight to the point. The owner of this newspaper, Mr. Barwick, bought a clipper ship named the Clara M, and I want to buy her.
I'm afraid she's not for sale, Mr. Barnaby.
Teak Barnaby was never one for bargaining, sir. So just forget the preliminaries and name your price. I'll meet it.
I meant what I said, Barnaby. The Clara M is not for sale. Mr. Barwick bought the ship for the one purpose of developing a publicity campaign to boost the paper circulation. As a matter of fact, he's sailing within the hour for a trip around the world with one of my best reporters on board.
There too, matey. Teak Barnaby's always got what he went after. Oh, I'll pay you any price.
You're wasting my time and your own, Barnaby. I repeat, the Clara M is not for sale.
Matey, everything has its price.
Yes, if it's for sale. Now, look here, Barnaby. Just why are you so anxious to buy the Clara M?
I have my reasons.
What reason?
I don't like your tone, matey. You make it sound as if wanting to buy a sailing vessel was a crime.
I never said that.
Aye, but you implied it. Now, trim your sheets and listen to me. I want the Clara M, and I intend having her. What my reasons may or may not be is no wind out of your sails, so you'd best not inquire into them. Now then, what's your price?
Well, of all the colossal nerve, I think it's time you left.
You won't sell?
I will not. Now get out.
You're making a mistake, matey. A great mistake.
That's my lookout. Good day, sir.
Good day, matey. If you'd care to reconsider...
Good day.
You've made a mistake, matey.
By heaven, if you don't get out of here...
Me too. I'm shoving off.
We're supposed to sail in less than an hour. You still haven't signed on a crew.
There's a new batch of men on their way over from the Seaman's Rest, Mr. Kent. We won't have any trouble getting a crew.
Gosh, Captain Hawkins, we expected to find you aboard the Clara M with a crew and everything, all set for sail.
I know.
So what seems to be the trouble, Captain?
Why, there's no trouble, Mr. Kent. It's just that men don't go in sail anymore these days. Sailing means hard work. Harder work than you'd find aboard modern ships, and the accommodations aren't any too good. But, Mr. Kent, here come the men I was speaking about. We'll have a crew in no time at all.
We've come over from the Seaman's Rest to sign on, sir.
Line up before the desk, you men.
Aye, sir.
One at a time. All right. Now then, you. What's your name?
Patrick Finity, sir.
What berth?
Able seaman, sir.
Sign here.
Aye,
There's a pen.
Thank you, sir. And what would be the name of the ship, sir?
The name? Oh, the Clara M. Sign here.
Begging your pardon, sir, I've changed my mind. I won't be sailing with you.
As you like.
Just a moment, Captain. Why won't this man...
It's all right, Mr. Kent. Don't worry. Next.
All right, sir.
Your name?
Angus Mackenzie.
What berth?
Able seaman.
Sign here, mister.
Right here. Aye, sir.
Go ahead, man. Finish signing.
I beg pardon, sir. Did I hear the name Clara M?
You did? What of it?
Nothing, sir, only I'm no signing on.
Just a minute.
Now, Mr. Kent.
Why won't you sign on? What's the trouble?
There's no trouble, sir. I've changed my mind, that's all.
Looks like they've all changed their minds. They're walking out.
So I see. Captain Hawkins...
It's as I say, Mr. Kent. They know the Clara M is a sailing vessel, and the minute they hear the name, they decide it's too much work.
There seems to be more behind it than that.
Now, please don't worry. I'll get a crew. Just leave it to me. We may not sail within the hour, but we'll sail.
Well, all right. Now, Jimmy, since it looks as if we're going to be here for some time, I'd suggest we drop over to that cafeteria at the end of the dock there and have a sandwich.
Okay, Mr. Kent. I am feeling a little hungry.
All right. We won't be long, Captain.
Take your time, Mr. Kent. And don't worry. I may have a crew signed on by the time you get back. I see another batch of men coming this way now.
Well, I hope so, Captain. Feel better, Jim?
I sure do, Mr. Kent. That sandwich and milk sure hit the spot.
Good. Let's get back to the dock, huh?
Yes, sir.
Well, I wonder if Captain Hawkins has signed on anyone as yet.
So do I. Sure was funny, those men changing their minds the minute they heard the name Clara M.
Well, Captain Hawkins' reason may be the right one. It may be that they just...
Ahoy, Kent! Ashore there! Ahoy!
What the... Oh, it's Captain Hawkins, Mr. Kent. There he is at the rail of the Clara M.
Oh, what's he doing on board? I expected him to be in the dock opposite. Ahoy, Captain! What is it?
Come aboard, man, and hurry. We're
We're making ready to sail.
You mean you've got a crew?
I have indeed.
Well, I'll be... Come on, Jim.
Aye, aye, sir.
Yeah, watch the gangplank there. Watch the gangplank. Yeah. Well, Mr. Kent, are you surprised?
Surprise is hardly the word, Captain. How did you manage it?
Luck, Mr. Kent, luck. That batch of men coming in as you were leaving signed on, every one.
What?
As fine a crew as you'd ever want to see. The first mate's actually been in sail back in the old days.
Yeah?
You'll want to know him. I'll call him over. You mustn't mind his looks, and I wouldn't pay too much attention to his leg.
His leg?
Yes, he's got a wooden leg. Here he comes now.
Well, matters are beginning to take a strange turn. What lies behind Mr. Barnaby signing on the Clara M as first mate? And why was it so difficult to sign a crew on the old clipper ship? Be sure to hear the next thrill-packed episode of our mystery with Superman.
Tune in the next thrilling installment of the transcription feature, Superman.
Up in the sky, look!
It's a bird!
It's a plane! It's Superman! Superman is a copyrighted feature appearing in Action Comics magazine. Presenting the transcription feature, Superman!
Up in the sky, look!
It's a bird!
It's a plane! It's Superman!
And now, Superman, strange visitor from the planet Krypton, who came to Earth with powers and abilities far beyond those of mortal men, and who fights a never-ending battle against crime and injustice, disguised as Clark Kent, mild-mannered reporter for a great metropolitan newspaper. In our last episode, we heard how Clark Kent and Jimmy Olsen were about to set sail for a cruise around the world on the Clara M, last of the old clipper ships. After Kent and Jimmy left Editor White to go aboard the boat, Teak Barnaby, a one-legged sailor, called on White and attempted to buy the Clara M at any price. Turned down, Barnaby stormed from the office. Meanwhile, at the waterfront, Clark Kent and Jimmy discover that Captain Hawkins of the Clara M is having trouble signing on a crew. For some strange reason, men refuse to sail on the Clara M. Kent and Jimmy leave, and then, on their return, find that a crew has been signed. Listen.
Aye, Mr. Kent. As fine a crew as you'd want to see anywhere. The first mate's actually been in sail back in the old days. You'll want to know him. I'll call him over. You mustn't mind his looks, and I wouldn't pay too much attention to his leg.
His leg?
Aye, it's wooden, you see. Made of teak wood. Oh, here he comes now. Mr. Barnaby. Mr. Barnaby, over this way.
Holy mackerel, Mr. Kent. Look at that. A real wooden leg.
You wanted me, sir?
Aye, mister, I did. I want to make you acquainted with Mr. Kent and young Jimmy Olsen. Mr. Kent is the reporter I told you about, who's going to write that series of articles about the last voyage of the Clara M.
Pleasure, Mr. Barnaby.
Well, it is that, matey. So we're to have a lad aboard, too, are we?
Aye, sir. I'm coming, too.
Well, keep your ears open and your eyes peeled, laddie, and you'll learn a lot. Blow me down if a voyage in an old windjammer like the Clara M ain't the finest education a boy can have.
I'll try to learn, sir.
Mr. Barnaby, we'd best be underway. There's a freshening breeze, and we can just catch the tide if we're quick about it.
Aye, sir. We'll weigh anchor. Man the windlass! Man the windlass!
Holy mackerel, what a voice.
The first mate on an old windjammer needs a good pair of lungs, laddie.
It would appear that way.
Break sail! Break sail! Put your backs into your stiff-trawling catfish. On the line there, you. All together now. Heave! Heave! Hey, you up on the mainsail. Up to it, man. Square away there. Square away. Cut on me for a Chinese pirate. I've yet to see the likes of such a crew.
Gosh, Mr. Kent, listen to him.
Your sails are filling, Mr. Barnaby.
Aye, sir. You on the wheel there. That's the answer.
Aye, sir.
Well, we're on the way, sir.
Take over, Mr. Barnaby. Your course is due south.
Aye, sir.
And so, with the mysterious peg-legged Mr. Barnaby aboard, the Clara M sets sail on her last voyage around the world. Sails billowing in a spanking breeze, she cuts the water southward bound. Night falls over the sea, And in the cabin of Captain Hawkins, Clark Kent and Jimmy Olsen sit down to their first dinner aboard ship.
Oh, gosh, I'm so hungry I could eat a whale.
Well, dig in, lad, dig in.
Well, there's an extra plate set, I see, Captain.
Aye. Mr. Barnaby will be along shortly.
He's a strange sort of man, Captain.
Aye, he is, but you'll find many a queer one at sea, Mr. Kent.
He seems pleasant enough, but there's something in the way he looks at you. I can't quite put my finger on it.
Sounds like him coming now.
Aye, it's Barnaby, all right.
Ahoy, mate.
Oh, Barnaby.
Barnaby.
Well, lad, how you finding your first meal at sea?
It sure is exciting. Gosh, with the creaking of this old ship and those oil lamps swinging back and forth above us, why, it's like a scene out of a movie.
That it is.
Fog clearing any, Mr. Barnaby?
No, it's thickening, and that's a fact. Making up soupy, I'd say. I've given orders to use the horn if it gets any thicker.
Aye. Well, you seem quiet, Mr. Kent. Not saying much.
Oh, I've been wondering ever since we sailed, Captain. Can't quite understand how you managed to sign on a crew in such quick time. Especially when you'd been having such trouble getting a crew before.
Well, as I explained to you, Mr. Barnaby and the rest of the men came along at that precise moment, all looking for berths.
Aye, a piece of luck, I'd say. Well, this is the first I've heard of you having trouble signing on a crew, Captain.
Yeah, little, not much.
Well, I'd lay most of them had heard the rumor about the Clara M.
Rumor? Oh, what kind of a rumor, Mr. Barnaby? Gosh, what's that?
That's a foghorn, lad. Fog must be thickening. Well, now, as to that rumor...
You'd best leave off that, mister. It's nothing but waterfront gossip.
Aye, and therefore harmless to the lad. You see, lad, every ship has its superstition attached to it. And the Clara M is no exception.
What sort of a superstition, Mr. Barnaby?
You haven't heard about the Whistler?
The Whistler?
Aye, lad. Oh, 'tain't much to tell. The legend has it that many years ago, the first mate, like myself, had a fondness for whistling. Whistle like a bird, he could. You could always tell when he was about, or he was never done whistling. Well, as the legend has it, he had taken the wheel one night in a howling gale. One of them nights when the sea's kicking up, hurling wave after wave over the decks. Well, lad, the first mate took the wheel that night and was never heard from again.
What happened to him?
Well, there's some who say he was washed overboard, and some who say he just vanished. But every sailorman's agreed that he still sails in spirit with a Clara M, and that sometimes you can hear him whistling.
Gosh. There goes that foghorn again. Do you believe the Whistler still sails on the Clara M, Mr. Barnaby?
Of course not, of course not. A silly superstition, lad. Nothing more, nothing more.
Why did you sign on for this trip, Mr. Barnaby?
Well, Mr. Kidd, I needed a berth, and I take no stock in superstitions.
Does the Whistler come at any time, Mr. Barnaby, or does his whistle mean something?
Well, lad, you said...
Mr. Barnaby, I've had enough of this stupid talk.
Why, sir, I was
That
merely...
will be all, mister.
Aye, sir. More potatoes, lad?
No, thank you.
Why?
Gosh, it's the Whistler.
Nonsense, lad. It's just
Whoever's whistling is standing right outside on deck. I suggest we...
Wait, matey. He's moving off. Come on, follow me. If it's one of the crew, I want to know about it. Are you coming, Captain?
Aye, I'll come. But it's nothing but Tommy rot, I tell you. Tommy rot.
Seems to be off down the deck there, toward the bow.
Come along.
You can't see your hand in front of you in this fog. Whoever's whistling is getting farther away all the time.
Let's hurry, mate. We don't want to lose him.
Gosh, with this fog and that strange whistling up ahead, why should anybody be whistling at a time like this?
It may be a warning, lad.
A warning?
Oh, now I've done it when I've had orders from Captain Hawkins to say never a word.
You mean that whistling may be a warning of something about to happen?
Aye. Just said, mate, that when you hear the whistler,
Wait. It's gone. I don't hear it any longer.
Neither do I. It seems to... What's that?
Cry for help. Behind us. Where's the captain?
He must have dropped back. Come along, guard. Mr. Kent.
Right with you.
Yeah, we may be right with him, Jim. This is beginning to look more and more like a job for
Superman. I've got a feeling Captain Hawkins went overboard, and I'd better check on that right now. Good thing my eyes can pierce this fog. Strange things happening on board this ship. Very strange. Wait. There he is. Floundering in the water, astern of us. Only one thing to do. Skim out over the water and bring him back here on deck before he knows what's happened to him. Up! Up! And away!
Mr. Kent, where are you?
This way, Jimmy. Mr. Barnaby. I found the captain.
What happened to him?
Well, that's what I'd like to know. You're wringing wet.
I must have slipped and gone over the rail.
Yeah, or perhaps you were pushed.
No, I fell.
Well, holy mackerel, if you fell overboard, how'd you get back on deck?
I don't know. Somehow. I remember someone holding me up in the water. Then everything went black.
Hey, I'd best take you below, sir. Come along. I'll give you a hand.
Need any help, Mr. Barnaby?
Oh, no, I can manage. I'll take care of you. Have no fear. There you are. Sit down there. Lean on me.
What do you make of all this? Whistler and then Captain Hawkins falling overboard.
I don't know, Jimmy. One thing I do know. I don't think Captain Hawkins fell overboard.
Huh?
No sea captain ever fell off a ship. A deliberate attempt was made on his life, and he knows it, yet he tried to pretend otherwise.
Gosh, that doesn't make sense.
That's not the only thing that doesn't make sense. There's something strange about Captain Hawkins signing on this crew. There's something strange about our first mate, Mr. Barnaby.
But what?
I don't know, Jimmy. I'm going to make it my business to find out. Yes, 7 bells, but all is not well. Not well at all.
What is the strange mystery aboard the Clara M? What truth is there to the legend of the Whistler? Strange and exciting adventures await our friends aboard the old clipper ship. So be sure to hear the next thrilling episode with Superman.
Tune in the next thrilling installment of the transcription feature, Superman.
Up in the sky, look!
It's a bird!
It's a plane! It's Superman! Superman is a copyrighted feature appearing in Action Comics magazine.
Kellogg's Pep, the build-up wheat cereal, invites you to rocket into the future with Corbett. Hey, Cadet. Stand by to raise shift. Blast off -5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
As towering rockets blast off to distant planets and far-flung stars, we take you to the age of the conquest of space with Tom Corbett, Space Cadet. The newly discovered planet Delport, a tropical paradise and rich in mineral wealth, has been officially opened for colonization. And in the most important land rush of the 24th century, 5 rocket ships from Earth race through outer space to stake their claims. Tom Corbett and Astro, as part of the Solar Guard unit policing the land rush, have transferred to a jet boat above the planet's surface. Roger Manning and Captain Strong are in the rocket cruiser Polaris. Together, they will supervise the landing.
Jet boat to Polaris. Jet boat to Polaris. Come in, please.
Polaris here. What's up, Tom?
Just reporting, Roger. The expedition ship Argosy has entered Delport's atmosphere. I can see her in the viewport. She's circling, getting ready to set down.
How about the other ships?
All accounted for. The New World's second with the Thespian and the Draco trailing. Thespian's moving up, though.
Okay. By the way, Tom, Captain Strong's says, congratulations on the way you and Astro handled that oxygen break on the New World.
Tell him thanks, but the big bow goes to Chatfield, the thespian. If he hadn't turned his ship back to help us, we wouldn't be here.
I shouldn't have been there to handle it, Junior. Then you wouldn't have needed any help at all.
That's Roger Manning, all mouth and no modesty.
I heard that, you Venusian hillbilly, if you think...
That's all for now, Roger. Astro and I have work to do. We'll get back to you after the landing.
All right.
Astro, try to get a bearing on the thespian. I want to see if she's into atmosphere yet.
Will do. Wait a minute. Yep, there she is on the viewer.
Uh-huh. That means the Draco's going to be the last one in.
Now the scramble starts. Once they locate that mineral deposit along the lake, they'll all be after it.
Well, it'll belong to the first one who stakes a claim. Our job is just to keep an eye on it.
And a pretty careful eye. From here on, there's going to be some fancy jockeying for position.
It's already started. Look in the viewer.
Yeah, I see. The Argosy, the Thespian, and the New World are all headed for that spot.
Looks like the Argosy will make it first, though. She's got a fair lead.
They'll all have to start firing their braking rockets any second now. We might as well relax and enjoy the fun.
Not yet, Astro. If there's any rough stuff, we've got to be ready to move in.
I say, Polk, how does it look?
Not so good, Mr. Chatfield. The New World and the Argosy are ahead of us.
I'd have given anything to have staked out that claim on the lakefront. Beastly luck.
It's time to try my luck. Remember, I'm Lucky Leo. I'm getting there first.
Hold on, Polk, hold on. We can't head in there now. It's time to start breaking.
And give up the claim? No, sir. We plunge right ahead. That's the one thing they won't expect.
You can't, man. We're liable to cause a three-ship crash.
They'll get out of the way when they see we mean business.
Patrol jet boat to Thespian. Jet boat to Thespian.
Better answer your audio, Mr. Chatfield.
Thespian to jet boat. Chatfield here. What's the trouble?
Fire your braking rockets, Chatfield. You're getting too close to the other ship.
All right. We'll take care of it.
Okay.
You heard that, Polk? Fire the braking rockets.
Not yet.
Then get away from those controls. I'm taking
Now, Chatfield. You make a wrong move, I'll wreck this ship.
You must be space mad. The others won't give you right of way. There'll be a crash.
That's their lookout. If you hadn't played hero, rescued Sutton and his crew, he wouldn't be ahead of us now.
There was no choice. I had to do it.
And I have to do this. I've got a land claim coming, and it's going to be on the lakefront.
But not at the price of crashing another ship?
At any price. Here goes. I'm heading right into that lane, and crash or no crash, I'm getting through.
Look at that fool ship, Tom. What's the matter with Chatfield?
I wish I knew. Let's get him again. Patrol jet calling Thespian. Come in, Thespian.
He's not answering you.
Thespian, do you read me? Come in, Chatfield.
There he goes, diving right between the New World and the Argosy.
Quick, Galaxy. Come on, Astro. We've got to stop it.
Hey, you're the boss. Let's move in.
I'll try the audio again. Patrol jet to Thespian. Veer off, Thespian. That's an order.
They must have gone crazy aboard that ship.
Patrol jet. This is something on the New World. Do something quick. That idiot Chatfield is going to kill us all.
I'm trying to head him off, Sutton. He doesn't answer his audio.
Look out, Corbett. The way he's headed now, he's plunging straight toward you.
That's right, Tom. Hang on. We're going to crash. We'll return to the exciting adventures of Tom Corbett, Space Cadet, in just a moment. So stand by.
Well, spacemen, the days are getting longer, the weather's getting warmer, and vacation time is right around the corner. Say, you know what that means? Well, it means you'll have more time to do the things you really want to do, to get outdoors and run around with your friends. Of course, it also means you're going to need plenty of food energy. So you ask Mom to get you a package of that wonderful build-up wheat cereal, that swell-tasting cereal, Kellogg's Pep. And remember, when you do that, you're right in line to receive an important piece of official equipment from Space Academy Supply Headquarters. Now, just think of the fun and excitement you'll have wearing a pair of official space goggles. They're made of one sweeping curved piece of clear colored plastic. You look like a regular space cadet when you wear these space goggles. You like to wear them when you're out on the beach because they help reduce squinting sun glare. And you make these space goggles your standard equipment when you're riding in a car or piloting your bicycle against a heavy wind. Now, here's how you can get your very own pair of official space goggles. Make a note. Take one box top from Kellogg's Pep, 25 cents, and your name and address. One box top from Kellogg's Pep, 25 cents, and your name and address. Send to Kellogg's, Box 346, Battle Creek, Michigan. Repeat. Send to Kellogg's, Box 346, Battle Creek, Michigan. Spaceman,
Send away today for your official pair of space goggles. As the spaceships of the expedition rushed to lay claim to the richest land on the planet Del Port, Tom and Astro in a jet boat policed the landing. Seeing the rocket ship Thespian attempts to illegally cut in ahead of its rivals, Tom dives his jet into the jam-up, desperately trying to avoid a three-ship collision. But suddenly the Thespian, swooping like a huge vulture, veers toward the tiny jet.
The crazy rocket head, he's going to ram us. I'm trying to pull above him, Astro. I don't know if I can make it. Why in Jupiter doesn't he fire his braking rockets? Wait, he's firing them. We're going to clear by the skin of our teeth. Yeah, but not the Argosy, Tom. Look, trying to veer off. She's gone out of control. Astro, that ship's in a nosedive, straight for the lake. There she goes, into the water. Tom, the Argosy's gone. Finished. With its entire crew. Come on, Astro. We've got to make a landing fast. That's where she went under, Tom. Right off this point. And no sign of her. No sign at all. Hold on, Tom. I just caught a flash of metal over beyond that ridge. Where? Oh, yeah. I see it, too. Train your scope on. Let me focus. Yep. It's Chatfield's ship, the Thespian, all right. Okay. What are we waiting for? Let's corner that space rat and tell him the penalty for murder. There's the Thespian, but it looks deserted. I guess everybody's out to stake their blood-soaked claim. Wait a minute, Tom. Somebody's coming out of the forward hatch, climbing down the landing ladder. Chatfield, halt in the name of the Solar Alliance. Come on, Astro, and keep him covered. Don't you worry about that.
Thank heavens you come. Tell me, what happened to the Argosy?
Take his weapon, Astro.
Got it. Tell me, Corbett, what happened?
Isn't murder bad enough without being a hypocrite in the bargain?
Murder? Oh, no.
Oh, yes, Chatfield. The whole crew's dead. Every single man.
How very terrible.
Come with us, Chatfield. You're under arrest.
Of course. I'll go quietly.
I don't get it. Out in space, you turned back of your own accord to save our lives. Jeopardized your whole position in the race.
Of course. That's the spaceman's code.
Then how could you do this thing?
How could? Just a moment, Cadet. As the Thespian's owner, I've got to take responsibility. But you don't think that I, personally, you couldn't think that...
We know exactly what to think. Come along, Chatfield. You can tell it to the Solar Court. Just a minute, Astro. Chatfield, what are you trying to say?
Why, that Polk took over the ship.
What? Lucky Leo?
That's right. He ignored my commands completely. Paid no attention when I ordered braking rockets.
Well, that's a pretty thin yarn.
But the truth. And don't forget, you cadets screened Polk, brought him to me to hire.
He's got something there, Astro. Lucky Leo. Where is he, Chatfield?
How should I know? As soon as we sat down, he headed for the hills to stake a claim.
Astro, we've got to find him. Right, Tom.
Tell me, cadets, am I at liberty to stake out my own claim?
Not just yet. We'll have to report all this to Captain Strong.
Alas, alas. Is this why I have raced halfway across the universe? To have the prize snatched from me for something which was no fault of mine?
We don't know whose fault it was. Not yet.
But by the time I am cleared, and I am certain I shall be cleared, all the most desirable land will have been claimed.
Sorry, Chatfield, it's out of our hands. This is a decision Captain Strong will have to make.
Polaris calling Chatfield. Come in, Tom.
Roger, what's the decision?
Release Chatfield, pending further investigation.
That is all I was waiting to hear. Goodbye, all. I'll see you around.
Any further orders, Roger?
Yeah, Captain Strong wants you to scour the whole lake district. For Polk, when you find him, bring him to the Polaris. The captain wants him.
The captain wants him? No more than we do, sonny boy. No more than we do. Any sign yet, Tom? That's the fifth party we've spotted, Astro, but no Polk. Maybe he's not trying for lakeside land. Sure he is. Lucky Leo'd go for the jackpot every time. It could be, but... Tom, Look there, near the top of the ridge. Isn't that somebody staking out a claim? You're right. Can't tell who, though, even with a view glass. That thick underbrush hides him. Well, do we put down and investigate? Uh-huh. That's part of the rich mineral area. And you can be sure of one thing. Where there's wealth, there's hope. We're coming to the summit of the ridge, Astro. He's over this way, I think. Keep your gun handy. He may put up a fight. Don't worry, he will.
Look out! Get back! You fall!
Who's that? Tom, look, there's a man falling into the lake.
Oh, come on!
And there's Polk running down the side of the ridge.
Polk, stop! In the name of the... into the lake! I gotta save him!
Polk, wait! Will you look at that? He's diving off the high ridge.
He'll be killed.
There he goes!
Hurry, Astro! Hurry! We've got to pick up the pieces!
It's no use, Tom. We can't revive Sutton. I'm afraid you're right, Astro. He's gone.
Poor guy.
How did this happen, Polk?
Just a freak accident, Corbett. I just finished staking out that ridge when I saw Sutton coming.
You mean you had it staked before he arrived?
That's right.
Well, then what?
Well, I was waiting to tell Sutton he was too late. But about 50 yards from me, he missed his footing, started tumbling back toward the ledge. Well, I shouted a warning to him, but it was too late. He went right over into the lake.
We saw you jump in after him.
Too late, though. Boys, I feel pretty awful about this.
It's still pretty lucky for you that you tried just the same.
What do you mean?
Well, Pope, jumping in to save another man's life is going to be a point in your favor when...
Wait a minute. When what?
When Captain Strong tries to find out who's to blame for the crash of the Argosy.
You're out of your mind. Chatfield was in command of the Thespian.
He admits that. He also claims you disobeyed his orders, that you blasted right ahead, so that you're responsible.
Boys, that's the best yarn I've heard in years. And will I punch it full of holes?
Well, you'll get your chance. Captain Strong wants to see you at once.
Lead me to him. Just one thing.
What's that?
I want to make sure of my claim. Covers the lakefront there and the entire ridge.
Okay, you know how to fill out the form. Chatfield, as rocket ship owner, gets 60% and you get 40%.
Boys, that's not quite the situation. I'm claiming a full 100%.
Well, you can't do that. Only ship owners can claim full title.
Yeah, but you see, I happen to be a ship owner.
What?
Well, nothing in the regulations says a man has to come on his own ship. I came on the Thespian, but I'm owner of the Draco.
The one that came in last?
That's right.
Well, I'll be... Hey, you're a shrewd boy, Polk. I wonder. What, Tom? Astro, I've been adding things up in my mind. See if this makes sense to you. Sure, Tom.
What's all the space gas? If Strong wants to see me, let's go.
This won't take long. Astro, let's say there's a ship owner. He's got a slow ship. He knows it won't be the first one in, so he tries to sign on as a crew member on a faster rocket.
Nothing in the rules against it, boys. Not a thing.
That's right. But the crews are all set. So our man puts on the uniform of a New World crewman, almost kills the pilot of the Thespian, and gets hired in his place.
Space gas, Corbett, you're dreaming.
Go ahead, Tom. Dream some more. Now he's on the Thespian, but the New World's in the race, too, and she's a fast ship. So you know what he does, Astro?
Listen, Corbett, you better be careful.
What does he do, Tom? He starts a fire at the spaceport. While everybody's putting it out, he rigs up a bomb aboard the New World, set to blow up while it's in space. Does it add, Astro?
It does, Tom.
Well, add this in, too, space cadets.
It's got a heat ray. Sometimes it doesn't pay to be so smart, Corbett.
Poke, put away that gun.
Sure. After I've taken care of you two, throw away your guns and start walking toward the lake.
Do as he says, Astro.
That's right. Now walk in front of me to the edge of the water. In 1 minute flat, you'll be dead. And those big red Delport fishes will take it from there.
We'll return to the exciting adventures of Tom Corbett, Space Cadet, in just a moment. So stand by.
Now hear this. The crew of the Hydra, before blast off on training flight to Terra Space Station, report to launching platform H-45 for inspection by Captain Hines.
Cadet Campbell, fall out for inspection. Let's see. The spacesuit's in order. Communicator belt? Check. Electronic telescope? Check. But what's this? Aquarius space goggles. Cadet, this is serious. You've read your space manual. You know that space goggles are essential equipment for every cadet. I'll have to put you on report for this.
Well, Spaceman, that happened a couple of days ago, and that cadet's ears are still burning. You know, the captain had good reason to get mad. He was actually looking after that cadet because space goggles keep a cadet's eyes protected. And when you get your pair of official space goggles, you want to make them your standard equipment. When you're out at the beach, riding your bicycle, or working in your laboratory, these streamlined, curved, one-piece, colored space goggles protect your eyes from the glare of the sun and heavy winds. And, spacemen, it's so easy to get a pair of official space goggles. Just send one box top from Kellogg's Pep, 25 cents, and your name and address. Now, you better write that down. One box top from Kellogg's Pep, 25 cents, and your name and address. Send to this address, Kellogg's, Box 346, Battle Creek, Michigan. Kellogg's, Box 346, Battle Creek, Michigan. Spacemen, send for your official space goggles today, and tomorrow, start off your day the spaceman's way with a build-up wheat cereal, Kellogg's Pep.
On the shore of the huge lake on planet Delport, Tom and Astro finally locate Leo Polk and accuse him of several crimes besides the crash of the rocket ship Argus. Polk draws a gun, and after disarming the two cadets, he orders them to walk before him toward the lake. Knowing that only a moment stands between them and certain death, Tom stalls for time.
You won't escape the Solar Guard, Polk. They'll know you killed us.
You underestimate me, Corbett. I can outsmart them just as I outsmarted you with my story of Sutton's accident.
You mean you killed him, too? And right before our eyes. That was smart, Polk. Tell us about it.
Sure, why not? You'll never spill it to anyone. I knocked Sutton off that cliff because he got to this claim first. Then I dove into the lake and held him underwater until I was sure he was through.
Very clever.
Yeah, but there's one thing you've overlooked. Captain Strong knows we came to look for you, and he's pretty good at putting two and two together. He can suspect till Jupiter jumps its orbit, proving it'll be another story. You two will be at the bottom of the lake, and in no shape to talk.
Tom, let's take a chance and go for it. Not yet.
Got that, you two. All right, this is your finish.
Maybe there's something else you ought to know.
Quit stalling. Turn around now.
I'm not stalling. Polk, while you were boasting about how you killed Sutton, I had the transmitter button pushed down on my belt communicator.
You mean your communicator was broadcasting his confession? That's a lie. I don't believe it.
You don't? Then listen.
A jet boat.
They heard it, Polk. Heard your confession. They're coming for you.
Who are they?
Captain Strong, of course, and Roger Manning. They're tuned into our communicators all the time.
Coming up fast, right behind you. You're bluffing. I know you're bluffing. That can't be the Polaris jet boat. You were using it.
Okay, then don't turn around. Don't look. But there's a ray gun on the jet, and when it hits you in the back, you
move, you two, move. Get back there in the shadow of the cliff.
Sorry, that's an order we're not going to take.
Get back or I'll blast you.
Go ahead, fire that weapon, and the next second Strong will burn you to ash.
That can't be from the Polaris.
Why don't you turn around? See for yourself. I can spot the markings from here.
Scared, Tom. Really scared. Turning around. Not the jet.
Jumping!
Get off! Right ahead. Hold him, Tom. I'm getting his blast gun. You dirty space Tom.
I'll show you. You will, huh? Well, here's something to show you.
Who's lucky now? Beauty, Tom. Right on the button.
Thank Jupiter for that jet up there, Astro. I wonder who it is.
You mean that whole business with the communicator was a phony?
Just a big bluff. Come on, let's give this guy a welcome. He saved our lives. Hello there.
Corbett! Astro! What are you doing here?
It's Chatfield.
I saw you from the air. I say, isn't that Polk lying on the ground?
It sure is.
What happened?
We're taking him in for murder.
Among other things.
What was he doing here? Staking out a claim?
That's right.
Well, would a criminal be allowed a claim?
After what's happened, Polk will be disqualified.
Then all this choice land is going begging?
That's right, sir.
By the bard of Avon, it's mine then. I claim it here and now.
No reason why you can't.
This is the cream of the gem. The first shall be last, and the last shall be first, eh?
It's poetic justice, all right, Mr. Chatfield.
Poetic justice. Yes, 'tis all of that. I'm really at a loss for words. But there must be something of the bard's to befit the occasion.
Oh, there is, Mr. Chatfield. How about all's well that ends well?
Don't miss the next action-packed adventure of Tom, Corbett, and the Space Cadet when they work with the Solar Intelligence Corps on Rhea, a moon of Saturn, the satellite of death. Tune in, same time, same station for the next thrilling interplanetary adventure with Tom Corbett. Space Cadet.
Brought to you by Kellogg's Pep, a build-up wheat cereal.
Tom Corbett, Space Cadet, starring Frankie Thomas, can also be seen on television and appears in the comic sections of many of America's leading newspapers. Look for it daily and in weekend editions. Featured in the cast were Jan Merlin, Al Markham, and Maurice Tarplin. Today's program was written by Gilbert Braun and directed by Drex Hines. Jackson Beck speaking.
Kellogg's Raisin Bran, raisins and bran flakes too. They're out of this world, they're out of one package. Kellogg's Raisin Bran. Kellogg's raisins are honeycomb coated to keep them tender, the bran flakes crisper. Kellogg's Raisin Bran, raisins and bran flakes too. They're out of this world, they're out of one package. Kellogg's Raisin Bran. Eat Kellogg's Raisin Bran. Eat Kellogg's Raisin Bran. Eat Kellogg's.
Tired of the everyday routine? Ever dream of a life of romantic adventure? Want to get away from it all?
We offer you Escape. Escape, designed to free you from the four walls of today for a half hour of high adventure. Escape, brought to you by the Richfield Oil Corporation of New York and the independent marketers of Richfield gasolines, motor oils, and other petroleum products. Look for the Richfield Eagle on the cream and blue pumps.
Tonight, we escape to New Orleans during Mardi Gras, behind the gaiety of which lies a nightmare world of terror and death, as John and Gwen Bagney tell it in The Man Who Stole the Bible.
I didn't mean to steal the Bible. That wasn't my intention. Well, I'd never taken as much as a towel or an ashtray out of a hotel. And if I'd known the night of terror it would lead me into, I'd never have taken it at all. Mardi Gras, New Orleans, a gay time, a lot of laughs, if you're in on it. But me, I was stuck in a stuffy hotel room waiting for a call from the boss. And the sound of all those people out on the street having fun got on my nerves.
Operator.
This is Mr. Cummings, room 302. Whatever happened to that bellhop I sent for?
Will you speak louder? I can't hear you, sir.
I said...
just a minute.
Operator. Operator.
What was it you wanted?
Look, I want a bellhop. I want him to bring me something to read. Anything. You said half an hour ago he was on his way up.
Hasn't he answered your call yet, Mr. Cummings?
He has not.
Well, I'm sorry, sir. The hotel is so crowded. The Mardi Gras, you know, it's almost impossible. Just a minute.
Look, operator. Operator. Oh, nuts. I paced back and forth, wishing the boss would call me so I could get out of the room. I didn't dare leave, even to go down and get a paper. He's that kind of a guy. Expects you to be on tap all the time. There was no radio in the room and nothing to read. I went through all the drawers, hoping somebody had left behind a magazine or a seed catalog, anything. And then I found it. The Bible. The Gideon Bible. For years I've seen them in hotel rooms, but I'd never paid any attention to them. And now I opened the book. 1 Samuel, chapter 19. I lay down on the bed and I started to read. The knock surprised me. I'd forgotten about the bellhop. I got up to go to the door, and I realized I had the Bible in my hand. It's a fine thing when a man feels embarrassed caught reading the Bible, but that's how I felt. Embarrassed. I stuffed it under the pillow, and I went to the door. You sure took your time. Oh.
I'm a house detective. I'm sorry to disturb you.
Well, that's all right. What's the matter?
Well, it seems that the woman who had this room before you lost her pocketbook. She thinks she left it here.
I haven't seen it, but, well, you can come in and look.
Why, thanks. It doesn't seem likely that the maids would have overlooked it, but once in a while something gets left in a drawer.
Yeah, I know.
It's amazing, the things you find left behind in hotels.
Yeah, it sure is.
Oh, no, it's not here. Sorry to have intruded on you.
That's all right.
Good night.
Good night. I lay down again and went back to reading the Bible. Once I got used to the old-fashioned language, I found it pretty interesting. The story of David, anyway. A guy being chased by everybody, not knowing who his enemies were, every minute expecting to get killed. I was down to the part where David's wife puts a dummy in his bed as a decoy to save his life when I was interrupted again. This time I automatically stuck the Bible under the pillow and went to the door.
Hello.
Oh. Hello.
I'm having the most awful time. I've tried and tried, but it just won't work. And the room's so stuffy.
How's that?
The window in my room, it won't open.
Oh.
Would you open it for me?
No, I should. Just show me. Which room is it?
Right next to yours. Just around this corner, room 300. I have the same trouble on buses. The windows never open. It drives me mad. You can see how stuffy the room is.
Mm-hmm. This window?
Mm-hmm. Well, isn't that odd? It opened for you.
Yeah, it did. And easy, too. And so does this one.
I can't understand it.
You sure you tried?
You don't think I'd come to your door and ask you to come over here if I didn't need something, do you?
Well, it's been done.
I won't argue with that. But now that you're here, wouldn't you like to have a drink? For your trouble, I mean?
Oh, no, I don't think I
can. You can
can.
watch the parade much better here than on your side of the building.
Oh, no, I can't.
What's the matter?
Oh, sorry, I have to go. That's my phone.
Wait, don't go. You can have the call transferred here. But it's silly to go all the way back to your room.
Hello, Cummings. Oh, yes, sir. I've been waiting for your call. Now, listen, I've covered the whole territory down here, and things look pretty healthy. You see, the main difficulty has been that... I stared at my briefcase. I had left it on the dresser. Now it was on the bed, and everything had been pulled out of it. The closet door was ajar, the drawers in the bureau were open. My Gladstone apparently hadn't been touched, but everything else had. I talked with the boss about trends, business conditions, but my mind was on a girl who wanted a window open. A window that wasn't stuck, while somebody searched my room. Calmly, I finished my conversation and hung up. There was no reason now for me to stay in the room. I gathered up my stuff, and I took the Bible from under the pillow. Funny. I had gotten interested in it. I wanted to go on reading it, so I stuck it in my top coat pocket and walked out of the room. On my way to the elevator, I got a sudden impulse. I stopped in front of room 300 and knocked. Oh, where's
Nobody here now, mister. The lady checked out.
Oh, but that's impossible. I was just here.
I don't know anything about that, but she checked out a couple minutes ago, and I got to clean up after her right now. I'm going to be glad when Mardi Gras is over. Everybody goes crazy. Hotel goes crazy. People check in, check out. They steal everything that ain't tied down.
Steal?
Yeah, I said steal. Ashtrays, bath towels, soap. I wouldn't be surprised if they take the beds next.
The Bible in my pocket suddenly felt like a pound of uranium. I wondered if the cleaning woman could read the guilt on my face, but she put her wastebasket down in the hall and went back in to clean the room. For a second, I considered taking the Bible back to room 302, and maybe I would have if it hadn't been for the discarded book jacket in the wastebasket. It was gaudy, red and yellow. I grabbed it up, put it around the Bible. The title read, You Will Die Tonight.
Strut, boy. Well, all those bellboys, I swear, I'll go out of my mind. Oh, checking out, Miss Cunning.
Mm-hmm.
Now, let me see. You were in room...
302.
302?
Yeah.
Oh,
Well, what's the matter?
I've had so much trouble over that room. I was supposed to hold it for a lady, but you can't keep rooms vacant during Mardi Gras. I gave her the room next to yours, but she checked like crazy to the manager.
Next to me?
Yes, room 300. She checked out just a few minutes ago.
I don't know what this is all about, but there's something peculiar going on in room 302.
Peculiar?
I didn't mind the house detective coming in to look for the purse, but I didn't like having my stuff searched while I was out of the room.
Searched?
Yeah, I said searched.
You say the house detective did that?
He said the woman who had the room before me left a purse.
Oh,
and
but
he
that's impossible.
Well, what do you mean?
A man had the room ahead of you. Oh, yes, I'm positive of it. Just a minute, I got the register right here. I'll tell you. Yes, a man, a Mr. Gregory. The house detective isn't on duty today, but when he comes in tomorrow, I'll tell him that...
Not on duty? Well, then what was he doing in my room?
Today?
Of course, tonight. A tall guy with black hair.
Oh, there's some mistake, Mr. Cummings. Our house detective, Mr. St. Clair's his name, is short and bald, and he hadn't been in the hotel all day. He's homesick.
It had the makings of an interesting little intrigue. But I left the mystery of room 302 with the room clerk and went to the cigar stand. It was 8 o'clock. My train wouldn't leave until midnight.
Yes, sir. What'll it be? Cigarettes or cigars?
Cigars. 3 Coronas. No, make it 6.
Always like to sell cigars. Men don't smoke cigars like they used to. Cigarettes, that's the fashion today, but give me a good cigar every day.
Sounds like somebody's having a good time.
Oh, they all have a good time during the carnival.
Say, I wonder where I could check my bag and briefcase for a little while.
Oh, going to see the parade?
Yeah, I thought I would. Mill around a little bit. I've got a couple hours to kill.
Well, I'd be glad to keep it for you. I'm on duty till midnight.
Oh, would you? Well, that's mighty nice of you.
Oh, don't mind it at all. Mardi Gras is something to see. You shouldn't miss it. But you'll have more fun if you rent a costume. The hotel's got them for rent, you know.
No, thanks. I'll go as I am. He stuck my stuff under the counter, and I elbowed my way across the crowded lobby to the street door. Through the glass, my eyes met the eyes of another man, a tall man with black hair, the man who said he was the house detective. I swung the hotel door open. I had a few questions I wanted to ask that boy, but he was swallowed up in the crowd. And then a big hand clapped me on the shoulder, and a voice boomed in my ear.
There you are, sinner.
I whirled around and looked into the mask of a laughing, red-faced devil.
Don't try to evade me, sinner. I've come to collect you my nice shiny pitchfork. And when the devil comes for you, your time is up.
All I could see in the mask were a pair of eyes. They were gray eyes, and they were laughing. And the devil threw his arm around my shoulder and urged me along the street.
Come on.
I walked a little. I hadn't had anything to drink. The whole thing seemed kind of silly. But before I knew what happened, a clown grabbed my other arm.
Let's take the sinner to the fiery furnace.
And the two of them, the devil and the clown, were propelling me down the street into a car.
Come along, sinner.
Fiery furnace.
Hey, wait a minute, fellas.
Oh, the sinner is reluctant. Push him in, clown.
Hey, now, look.
Get in, sinner.
Hey, you guys. Hey, let me out. Look, where are we going?
All right. Let's have it.
Have what?
The Bible. The Bible you took out of room 302.
The Bible? You're not drunk.
Don't waste time on him. Frisk him.
Look, I don't know who you are, but you can't...
He hasn't got it on him. What'd you do with it? Where is it?
I told you. I haven't got it.
Oh! That's to let you know we're not playing. Now, let's take it again. Where's the Bible?
I tell you, I haven't got it. I had it, but I guess I lost it.
Lost it? Where'd you lose it?
I don't know. Why, you...
Don't do that, sinner. It's just as easy for me to pull this trigger as to look at you.
But I'm telling you the truth. I haven't got it anymore.
All right, you haven't got it. But you'll tell me where it is, you understand, if I have to kill you to find out. Hey, what are you stopping for?
Well, can't you see? The crowd, I can't get through.
Oh, come on, let's get moving. Get on out of here.
Oh, what do you want me to do, drive over them?
Look, fellas, a shortcut.
A bunch of revelers, drunk and out for beer, opened the back door of the car and started climbing over us. Nothing would stop them from weaving through. They thought it was fun, pushing and shoving each other. One of them fell, sprawled across the devil's lap, and they began to pile up. And suddenly I knew this was escape. I climbed out of the car. I ran blindly away from them. I saw a cab at an intersection. I ran out. I opened the door and... There he was, in the back seat. The phony house detective. I slammed the cab door and bolted across the street. There was a policeman on the corner directed past me. I ran up to him.
Hey, where do you think you're going?
Hey, look, they're trying to kill me. You gotta help me.
Kill you? Who's trying to kill you?
The devil. He's after me.
The devil, you say?
Yeah, and the clown, too.
Oh, not Mickey Man?
No, I mean it. I'm serious.
You're drunker than you look.
I haven't had a drink, I tell you. They're trying to kill me.
Why would they be doing that?
Because they want the Bible.
The Bible?
Yeah, look. You see, I stole the Bible, and here they come now.
Who?
The devil and the clown across the street. You've got to get me out of this. You've got to stop them. They'll kill me.
Yeah, sure. Now take it easy, young fella.
Oh, there you are, sinner. Come on. What are you trying to do? Get us in trouble?
Trouble?
Sure. He's going to miss the party.
Look, it's all a trick. Don't listen to him.
This young fella claims you're trying to kill him.
Me? Oh, no, not me. But if he doesn't get to that party pretty soon, his wife will kill him.
I haven't got a wife. There isn't any party. They're lying, I tell you. They're lying.
Oh, now be good, boys. Go someplace else and settle your squabble. I got to keep this traffic moving.
Please, officer.
Please. Oh, now you heard what the policeman said. Come on, sinner.
Let go of me, officer.
Oh, bet it now. Go on now, here.
I demand to be arrested. I demand it.
Go on now, I said. Now go on.
Officer, you're a fool. You're a fool.
Well, if it wasn't for this Mardi Gras, I'd run you in right now.
And you won't arrest me? Okay, but remember, I didn't want to do it. Oh.
That does it. Striking an officer. All right, fella. You're under arrest.
Xylene. That's a word to remember, for xylene is one of the highest octane gasoline components known to science. And xylene benefits you when you buy Richfield gasoline. Why? Because today, every gallon of Richfield gasoline contains xylene. That's right. Xylene in Richfield gasoline helps give your car that high anti-knock performance. That swift surge of power when you step on the accelerator. That smooth as silk action along the highway. Furthermore, your Richfield dealer offers you a choice of 2 great Richfield gasolines with xylene. Richfield Ethyl for best results in the highest compression motors. Or Richfield High Octane at regular price for the average motor. Each Richfield gasoline is tops in its class. Each contains xylene. For the finest performance at lowest cost per mile, let your Richfield dealer help you select the right Richfield gasoline to fit your motor's power requirements. Stop where you see the Richfield Eagle on the cream and blue pumps. And now we return you to Escape.
I sat in the drunk tank of the New Orleans jail and tried to figure it out. Who were the devil and the clown and the phony house detective? Why was the Bible so important that they would even kill me to get it? My bags were back at the cigar counter in the hotel. My train was scheduled to leave at midnight. But how was I going to get out of New Orleans? Already it was 10 o'clock, and as long as I stayed in jail, I would be safe. But even that didn't last long. I hadn't been there half an hour when a cop came for me and took me to the desk sergeant.
Here's your personal belongings, Cummings. Your release, you can go. But try to behave yourself. We're pretty busy tonight.
Release?
You know, you're a lucky guy. Culpepper decided not to press charges against you. You know what you could get for striking an officer?
What? Well, aren't you going to hold me?
Well, your fine's been paid. Now, go on, get out of here, and keep out of trouble, will you?
Oh, but I am in trouble. That's what I tried to tell the cop, but he wouldn't listen to me. I had to hit him. My fine? You said somebody paid my fine?
That's right. It's been paid.
But who? Who paid it?
I don't know who it was. He didn't give a name. He just paid it.
Was it a man in a devil's costume?
Huh?
Or a clown?
Now, look.
Well, what did he look like?
How do I know what he looked like? He was an ordinary-looking guy. Tall, big, had black hair.
The house detective.
The who?
They'll kill me, I tell you. I hadn't heard her come into the station. She moved so quietly. She was a nun, and she was talking excitedly in French. I wasn't paying much attention to her. I was thinking instead of my own problem. The house detective had paid my fine. He wanted me out of jail. He wanted me loose on the street. Why? And the devil and the clown. Were they with him? Were all of them waiting outside that door for me?
Well, please, sister, I wish I could help you, but I can't understand a word you're saying.
Monsieur, les gens dans la route m'empêchent de trouver mon chemin. Ils me prennent pour un des célébrants.
English. Can you speak English, sister?
Oh, pardon, monsieur. Masquerade. Costume. The people think masquerade. No masquerade.
Huh?
I think she's trying to say the people on the streets think she's wearing a masquerade costume.
Merci bien, monsieur. I am loose.
You mean lost?
Oui, monsieur. Lost. I am expect at convent, the Vieux Carré.
The Vieux Carré? Oh, that's in the French Quarter.
Exactement, oui.
Mm-hmm.
I try for taxi cab. The crowd, how you say, push me around. Pouvez-vous envoyer un de vos gendarmes?
What? A gendarme. She wants you to send a policeman to help her to get to a convent.
Oui, monsieur.
I'm sorry, sister. I'd be glad to, but I don't have anybody in right now. If you don't mind sticking around for a while, I'd be
Sticking around?
The sergeant, the prefect, he says he's sorry. If you will wait, there is no one available right now to help you. Wait a minute. The nun stood there, frightened and bewildered, out of place in the police station. But for me, it was a miraculous break. Sure, I could walk out of that police station with her. And if they were waiting outside, waiting to get me, I could walk right by them. They wouldn't dare touch me as long as I was with a nun. I could take her to the convent, and once there, I'd be safe. I'll take the sister to the convent, Sergeant.
It's okay with me if it's okay with her.
Merci, monsieur. Merci mille fois.
As we walked out of the police station, I took her arm. To help her, yes, but also to steady my own fear. Any minute I expected to see one or all of them, the devil, the clown, the house detective. But they weren't in sight. There were people milling about on the street, but not the three I feared, and, strangely, not finding them there frightened me more than ever. I found a cab and gave the driver the address of the convent. The nun and I didn't try to talk. I realized this whole thing was difficult for her, and I didn't feel like talking. Too much had happened to me for one night. The cab pulled up in front of an ancient building in the French Quarter, crumbling cement and wrought ironwork, and we got out, and I walked with her to the big front door. The nun raised the knocker, and I knew I'd been had.
What is wrong?
Fingernails. Red, polished finger... You're not a nun.
Well, it's...
Hurry, boy, get him in his wife.
It was the devil and the clown. They yanked me into the house. And the girl, I stared at her. Back in the police station, I hadn't really looked at her face. Her black robes had spelled freedom to me. That's as far as I had thought. But now I knew I'd seen her before. Only before, she had worn a green dress and a scarlet mouth to match her fingernails, and her hair had been blonde and long. And she wanted a window open. A window that wasn't stuck.
You given us a lot of trouble.
Look, I'm sorry.
We've been very patient. Now we want the Bible.
I told you before, I don't have it.
You had it?
Yeah, I had it. I took it. I don't know why I took it, but I lost it.
All right. Who sent you to get it?
I'll handle him. All right. Who you working for, Poloni?
Look, there's some mistake. I'm a salesman. I sell washing machines.
You're lying.
Look, I tell you.
Where's the stuff? Has Poloni got it?
What stuff? I don't know any Poloni. What are you slapping me around for? I won't get you any point.
Let me talk to him. Look, if you're lying for Poloni...
Who's Poloni? I don't know any Poloni.
Poloni wouldn't take a beating for you.
Oh, look, I tell you...
Whatever he's paying you, we'll pay you more.
We'll pay him nothing. You hand over that Bible, or tell us where the dope is stashed, or so help me, I'll kill him.
Dope? So, that's what it is. Dope.
Yeah, Mr. Innocent. That's what it is. Dope.
Stop it. If you kill him, we'll never find us. Listen to me. What's your name?
Cummings.
You work for Poloni, Cummings.
Oh.
Nobody but Poloni knows about that Bible.
Oh.
You came to hijack the stuff.
No, I tell you, I don't know Poloni.
Stop lying. Poloni knew our carrier was hot, that he had to drop the stuff somewhere in New Orleans.
Oh, you're wasting time, baby. I'll make him talk. You going to talk?
I don't...
You want the butt of this gun right across your face?
Look, you've got to believe me, He hit me with the gun. I tried to keep my eyes open, to hang on to consciousness. Across the room, I saw the door open, and in it stood a man with another gun. A big man with black hair, the phony house detective. Was his name Poloni? That was the only thing I had as I passed out. I don't know how long I was out. When I came to, I was lying on a bed. My head was throbbing, my cheeks, my nose, every bone in my body seemed to ache. There was a cold cloth on my eyes. I tried to think, why did I hurt so? Oh, yeah, the Bible.
All right, let's not waste any more time. What did you do with the Bible?
Where are the others?
They've been taken care of. Look, you took the Bible that belongs in this room. Now, what did you do with it?
This room? Oh, yeah. Room 302. What am I doing back in the hotel?
You have no right to touch that Bible. Now, think what you did with it. Where is it?
Look, I told them. I must have lost it. I don't know.
I'll get it. Yeah?
You're the gentleman who left his suitcases with me, Mr. Cummings?
Suitcases? Come in. Who are you?
I run the cigar stand in the lobby. I saw you bring Mr. Cummings in. If you don't mind my saying so, quite tight.
Yeah.
I'm going off duty in a little while, and I thought he'd need his things. You see, he checked them with me.
Thanks.
Oh, I almost forgot. Here's his book,
Oh, no,
too.
don't leave the book.
Oh, but you forgot it
No,
on the counter.
I don't want the book. You can have it.
I'll take the
No,
book.
no, don't give it to him.
Thanks for your trouble.
Oh, don't mention it. Hope he feels better tomorrow.
Well, at last, the Bible. You will die tonight.
Look, Poloni, I didn't know. I swear, I
Poloni?
just took it.
Look, I'm not Poloni. That's a pretty clever stunt, covering the Bible with a whodunit jacket.
Well, I only took it because
Let's see. Third book, second chapter.
What?
Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, chapter 1, 2.
But...
Yes, here's the address of the warehouse where the stuff is.
I don't understand. If you're not Poloni, who are you?
Huh? Oh, John Stan, United States Treasury Department, Narcotics Division.
T-Man. But I
Look,
thought
you made my job very difficult tonight, Mr. Cummings. We traced a narcotics carrier all the way around the world to New Orleans, to room 302. But when we arrested him, he was clean. He didn't have the evidence. Room 302 was the link. That girl, Frenchie, was to take this room, and I would have followed her here to where the evidence was stashed. It was as simple as that, but you stepped in and threw us all off.
Oh, why didn't you tell me you were a government man when you came in tonight to look for the pocketbook?
How did I know that you weren't a new member of the gang? Look, take my advice, Mr. Cummings. Quit stealing things out of hotels.
Oh, look, I never stole a thing in my life. This is the first time.
You know, there's one thing that I can't figure out. Why did you steal a Bible?
Well, you're not going to believe this, but honest. I just wanted to finish the story.
Attention, baseball fans. Here's a new book you won't want to miss. The new Richfield Baseball book, hot off the press. Its 32 pages are jam-packed with facts on America's favorite sport. You'll find Major League schedules, many minor league schedules, World Series box scores. You'll find a special baseball quiz you can try on your friends. You'll find seating diagrams of leading stadiums, plus dozens of other fascinating facts on the country's #1 sport. And this Richfield Baseball book doesn't cost you a single red cent. It's free. Ask the Richfield gasoline dealer for your free baseball book tomorrow. Ask him, too, about Richfield All-Point Safety Service, a special service that will save your car trouble this spring. Stop where you see the Richfield Eagle on the cream and blue pumps. Escape is produced and directed by William N. Robeson and has tonight presented The Man Who Stole the Bible by John and Gwen Bagney. Featured in the cast were Rick Vallon as Cummings, Nanette Boardman as the girl, Ben Wright as the house detective, Will Gere as the devil, Lou Merrill as the clown. Also heard were Mary Shipp, Harry Bartell, Peter Leeds, and Paul Frees. Special music was arranged and played by Ivan Ditmars. Next week.
You are tearing across the Nevada desert in a 200-horsepower Bentley Maximus, pursued by the implacable avenger of the left arm. Beside you is the man they are seeking to destroy, your companion in an adventure from which there is no escape.
Next week at this time, the Richfield Oil Corporation of New York invites you to escape with the story of a foreign spy who sought to renounce the left arm and become once again an American citizen. As Hildegard Tylett tells it in her exciting new novel, The Rim of Terror. Be listening. Goodbye then until the same time next week, when once again we offer you Escape. This is CBS, the Columbia Broadcasting System.
Wheat Chex, Rice Chex, and Good Hot Ralston present Space Patrol! High adventure in the wild, vast reaches of space. Missions of daring in the name of interplanetary justice. Travel into the future with Buzz Corey, Commander-in-Chief of the Space Patrol! In today's transcribed adventure, Buzz and Happy are on Venus on a farm where food is chemically grown in large tanks. As they walk toward a building where Tonga is held captive, huge sun mirrors atop several tall towers turn ominously toward them.
But rockets, Commander, it's really getting hot all of a sudden.
Yes, waves of heat. Even for Venus, this is unusual.
Gee, my eyes, what a glare.
Don't look at those reflectors. They'll blind you.
Let's run for the building and get out of the sun.
Happy, look out. They're focusing those sun mirrors on us.
A whole battery of them are pointed right toward us.
Maybe we can dodge them. Run back this way.
Commander, they've got us surrounded by the heat beams, and they're closing in.
If they hit us with all of them at once, we're finished.
We'll be back in just a moment with today's Space Patrol story, The Space Shark. It's the cereal of the future, the real space cereal. The cereal that's different from any other cereal in the universe. The cereal you see on Commander Corey's own breakfast table. Delicious Rice Chex, the cereal with a flavor like no other flavor in all the universe. Delicious Rice Chex. Swell-tasting shredded rice, spun in that modern, bite-sized design for easy eating. A real space cereal. You see, there's space inside those biscuits so they can fill up with milk or cream. Try it today, gang. The only bite-sized rice cereal in the universe. Rice Chex, the one and only official checkerboard rice cereal. Rice Chex, one of the super cereals that help to supercharge you. Rice Chex, at your grocer's in the red and white checkerboard package. Get it today. Crisp and delicious. New and different. Golden bite-size Rice Chex. Commander Corey and Cadet Happy have just blasted off from the planet Saturn, where they've been investigating mysterious contamination of chemically grown food shipped from Venus. In the meantime, Tonga, the assistant security chief, is also doing some undercover investigation work on Venus, working as a chemist on one of the farms. Now, through the nose port of Terra 5, Buzz and Happy watch Saturn's shining rings looming up large before them.
Raise our vector about 5 degrees, Happy. Want to clear the rings with plenty of space to spare.
Yes, sir. You know, it's too bad anything so beautiful is such a menace to spaceflight.
But by the time you're close enough for them to be a menace, the rings are no longer beautiful.
No, because you can see the individual hunks of rock making up the rings. And yet from a distance, they look as though you could ride a circus car around them like on a smooth racetrack.
Only in this case, it's the racetrack that does the moving. Well, it's 1100 hours Universal Star Time, Happy. We ought to be hearing from Tonga pretty soon.
I hope she found out more about how that food is getting contaminated than we did.
Those samples we examined on Saturn turned bad after they arrived from Venus.
So maybe the chemical farm they came from is still pure, huh?
Not necessarily. Perhaps a chemical with a delayed action was put into the hydroponic tanks.
Tonga calling Commander Corey. Tonga calling Commander Corey.
Corey here. Go ahead, Tonga.
Commander, how soon can you come to Venus?
We just blasted off from Saturn. It'll take at least 3.5 hours. Something wrong?
Why, no, to the contrary. I found out how those harmful chemicals are getting into the hydroponic tanks.
Good.
A group of racketeers are trying to force the farm operators to pay for protection. They've bribed workers to put the contaminating chemicals into the tanks.
Then, for the owners who pay the price, the tanks stay pure. Who's behind this gang?
I don't know yet, Commander, but I think I will by the time you reach Venus.
Where are you now?
In the women's dormitory at the farm. I'm just about ready to report for work at the lab.
If you leave your miniature spaceophone in your room, be sure you hide it carefully.
I keep it with me, Commander. It's safer.
You want us to come directly to the farm when we reach Venus?
I'll let you know later, Commander. By the way, I'm working here as Miss Bird.
All right, Tonga. Be careful. Corey out.
Gee, Commander, Tonga seems to have found out more in a week than all the other agents have in a month.
She's a good security department operator, Happy. No, we'll clear the rings. Change vector for Venus.
Yes.
Ready for the spectroscope check on specimen 28, Mr. Baxter?
All right, Miss Burns.
Negative. Well, this whole group of samples tests pure. I hope we have as good luck on the next group.
Oh, never mind that now, Miss Burns. I'll handle it.
Oh, but I thought you wanted all these samples analyzed before the morning shift ends.
There isn't much more to do. I'd like to have you take this report over to the superintendent's office.
Why, yes, Mr. Baxter.
Come in, Eggle.
Where is she?
I sent her on an errand.
All right, that Space Patrol spy. I wonder how much she knows.
Not very much. I've kept close watch on her ever since we found that she's a Space Patrol agent.
But that was 3 days ago. She's been here a week. I'd like to know where she kept that spaceophone.
I've had a room search at the women's dormitory. She's got it hidden, all right.
Perhaps it's under the floor. Baxter, you should have put that concealed microphone in her room in the first day she was here.
Look, I can't handle everything.
We got to get rid of her without exciting suspicion.
How can we do that? The Space Patrol will investigate.
Supposing there was an accident. Supposing she mixed the wrong chemicals and there was an explosion.
Oh, she's too careful. Too smart. I've got it. This will do fine.
What is that?
A harmless chemical used by Miss Burns almost constantly. But this bottle... Someone might easily confuse the names of the two chemicals. They're very much alike.
What does this chemical do?
A few drops mixed with any acid solution will produce a deadly gas. A gas that soon dissipates. After a few seconds, when it's mixed with air, it's harmless. But if someone were leaning over a container of it when it first formed...
Baxter, I can't pronounce the name of the substance, but it's the solution to our problem. Fix it up. I better get out of here before she gets back.
The superintendent said he'd check the report later, Mr. Baxter.
Typical. He hollers his head off or something and lets it sit on his desk for 3 days. Miss Burns, would you take over here?
Of course.
I've got to rush over to tank number 5. I'll be back as soon as possible.
Right, Mr. Baxter. Now, let's see. Anestheric acid, 20 cc's. Oh, now where's it? Oh, here it is. Oh.
Worked, Eagle.
Is the gas dissipated?
Do you think I'd be walking around like this if it hadn't? As I told you, it only takes a few seconds for the...
Baxter, she's alive. Huh? Look at her. She's moving, tugging at her throat.
She must have jerked her head back before it got into her lungs. Now what do we do?
This makes it awkward. Let me think a minute.
Well, at this acceleration, we'll reach Venus in half an hour, sir.
Want me to take over?
No, thanks, sir. I'd just as soon bring her in, if I may.
Well, fine with me. Happy.
Listen, I heard something in the miniature spaceophone.
So did I.
I got her back, sir. We'll load our Miss Burns into a surface car and take her to my hyperdriving farm. So somebody sees us. Tell them there was a slight accident. We can say I'm a doctor. Take her to a hospital.
But, Commander, they've done something to Tonga.
Quiet, Happy.
When she comes to, we can make her tell how much she knows. We certainly can't work on her hair. That's right. I'll stay here and watch Miss Burns. We got to get a surface car. Go on and get moving.
Tonga managed to click on her spaceophone, so she's probably not too badly hurt.
I wish they'd keep talking so we could find out who they are and where they're going to take her.
Baxter and Eagle. Eagle has a chemical food farm. Happy, you keep listening to your miniature set. I'll contact Venus Space Control and have them check on the location of a hydroponic farm owned by a man named Eagle. Passenger seems to be very quiet back there.
Well, apparently that gas just missed being totally effective. Here, pull up in front of this building.
What's this place?
A couple of storage rooms and a solar mirror control.
Quite a layout you have.
Yeah, very successful farm, Baxter. And you know, I haven't had a bit of trouble with contaminated food.
I wonder why. I wonder why.
Oh, come to think of it, maybe I'd better have some trouble, in case the Space Patrol starts wondering why. Well, come on, let's get her out of the car.
Still unconscious. We'll have to carry her.
Yeah, all right, let's go.
Spaceship. It's landing.
Quick, get her inside.
It's a Space Patrol ship. Why do you suppose it's coming here?
It's the commander ship. I've seen it a dozen of times on Terra. He must know the whole deal.
How could he?
The girl tipped him off. Probably has been waiting for days for some open move on our part.
What'll we do with her? Where's one of those storage rooms?
Oh, wait. There isn't time for that now. Bring her in here. We got to stop Corey.
Stop? How?
Set her down here.
Look, why don't we lock her up out of sight? Maybe we can bluff Corey out of it. He can't know anything.
Well, he's obviously been to the other farm and knows the girl was taken away in a surface car.
Oh, nobody asked us any questions?
No, but several people saw it.
Why don't we get in the car again and get away from here?
And be followed by Corey's spaceship?
I'm not anxious to tangle with Corey.
We won't have to. Come here. I'll show you something that will take care of Corey.
Commander, I'm not sure, but I thought I saw two men carrying Tonga into that building down there when we were landing the ship. That means she's still unconscious.
Yes, we've got to be careful, Happy.
It's lucky she managed to turn on her miniature spaceophone. And even when Eagle and Baxter weren't talking, you picked up the sound of the surface car motor and led us right here.
This farm is more than just a front. Looks like a well-run operation.
Well, then why does Milton Eagle get mixed up in a gang of racketeers?
Very likely he's one of the higher-ups, if not the kingpin. This protection racket is his way of controlling competition.
What are those big, shiny pieces of metal on top of the towers?
Those are solar mirrors, Happy. They can be focused on the food tanks to raise the temperature.
Some of them seem to be moving now.
They have to keep pace with the sun. Also, if the mirrors were kept focused on one tank too long, it would scorch the plants, probably boil the water.
Oh, I see.
I'm not so sure our arrival hasn't aroused interest, Happy, so be on your guard.
Get the idea now, Baxter? I'm surrounding Corey and the cadet with circles of concentrated sunlight.
What do you expect to do? Blind them with the glare?
Yeah. Wait till I converge all those beams in one spot, right on Corey and his friend.
Eagle, wait, do you realize the heat those mirrors put out?
Yeah, quite well, Baxter. And I think this will serve to stop the Space Patrol permanently. Now watch. I'm going to bring the focal points together.
Gee, Commander, sure is getting hot all of a sudden.
Yes, waves of heat. Even for Venus, this is unusual.
Smoking rockets, my eyes. What a glare.
Don't look at those reflectors. They'll blind you.
Hey, let's run for the building and get out of the sun.
Happy, they're focusing those sun mirrors on us.
The whole battery of them.
Maybe we can dodge them. Run back this way.
Hey, Commander, we're surrounded by heat beams, and they're closing in.
If they hit us with all those at once, we're finished.
We'll be back with Space Patrol in just a moment. Right now, here's the story of a cosmic surface car in trouble. Listen. The trouble? Nothing to go on but ordinary fuel. You hear that? The driver's filling up the tank with super fuel. Now, something's going to happen now. Boy, that cosmic surface car is really roaring now. That's because it's supercharged with super fuel. And the same is true with you, gang. What happens when you don't have a good breakfast? You're just a putt-putt. But when you fill up your tank with super fuel, man, you're supercharged. Now, here's how Buzz Corey does it. He eats a good breakfast with a checkerboard super cereal, Rice Chex or Wheat Chex.
Wait till you taste them, gang. Boy, are they good. Flavor galore in every crisp, bite-sized biscuit. So get going, gang. Eat a good super cereal breakfast and get supercharged. Get the super cereals today. Rice Chex, Wheat Chex. Buzz and Happy are on the grounds of a chemically grown food plant on Venus in an attempt to rescue Tonga, abducted by two men who've been putting poisonous chemicals in the food tanks of competing operators. The two conspirators, Milton Eagle and Richard Baxter, have seen Buzz and Happy approach the building where they're holding Tonga. Eagle has focused several sun mirrors toward the two space patrolmen, surrounding them with heat beams. Inch by inch, the circles close in around Buzz and Happy as Eagle tightens the wall of searing heat.
Look at them, Baxter. Ha! They can't move in any direction.
Grass all around them is burning.
Yeah, and a few seconds ago it was fresh and green.
That must be stifling inside those beams. Look at them. Even from here, you can tell they're gasping for air.
Well, we might as well finish them off.
No, you don't.
Grab her, Baxter.
Let go of me.
Get your hands off of that panel. Pull her away, Baxter.
I'm trying to.
Let go of me.
Why don't you come away?
Let go of me.
I've got her, Eagle. Now I'll finish off Corey and... she cut off the beam.
Get them on, quickly.
There isn't time. Corey and the Cadet are headed toward us. Drag the girl out to the surface car. Quick.
Quit struggling, do you hear?
Take your hands off me.
We haven't got time to pamper you, Miss Burns. There. Now you can carry her. And hurry up into the car.
They're getting into the surface car. They've got Tonga.
Hurry up.
Stop! Hey, come back here!
It's no use, Hap.
Doggone it. A few more steps and we'd have made it.
Back to the ship. We'll blast off and trace them. They won't be able to get far.
It was close. Plenty close.
We aren't away yet. They look for us with their ship. Maybe put up a roadblock.
Confounded girl. Why don't we get rid of her for good? Throw her out of the car.
No, you fool. As long as she's with us, Corey won't get robbed.
Where are you taking me?
That's a good question. Where are we taking her?
We're going to blast off for Neptune.
Blasting up for Neptune? In this surface car?
You must really have knocked her silly, Eagle.
I got a spaceship in a private spaceport a couple of miles from here. With a little luck, we can blast off before Corey spots us.
With a little luck,
I think I've got them, sir, on the miniature set.
Yeah, that's them all right.
You just leave the driving to me. Watch the girl.
Where on Neptune are you taking me?
To a place where the space patrol will never find you.
I suppose you've got a hideout in the mountains somewhere.
No, not quite. There's a small settlement along the Krolog River, just about 60 views east of Neptune City, where we won't be found.
Wouldn't a big city be better? People wouldn't ask so many questions.
I know what I'm doing.
Well, we know where they're going to take her.
Hope we can rescue Tonga before they get her aboard the spaceship.
Hey, Commander, there's a surface car down there on the highway. Do you suppose that's the one?
Very likely. Let's cut down our speed.
The spaceport isn't much further, Baxter.
What kind of spaceship do you have?
Such an inquisitive woman. But I'll tell you, I'm rather proud of it. It's a Class B space cruiser, one of the largest private ships made.
A Class B space cruiser. How nice. It must be Venus Registry, then.
Yes, Venus Registry. Anything else you want to know?
Hagel, we're being followed.
By a surface car. None showing on a highway radar.
No, a spaceship. It's pretty high up, but it's hovering.
There's some binoculars in the compartment. See if you can make out what ship it is.
All right.
I don't like the looks of it. Why would a spaceship be traveling so slowly over this part of Venus?
It's changing direction now. You can get these glasses, folks. It's a space patrol ship, Terra 5.
Corey again.
Maybe he didn't see us after all.
There were other surface cars on a highway near my farm. Wonder how he happened to follow this one.
Strange. Miss Burns, why do you keep playing with that locket?
I didn't know I was.
Give me that.
How dare you?
Oh, rather large for a locket, isn't it? Snap it open. Well, now isn't this interesting?
What is it, Baxter?
Miniature spaceophone. So that's how Corey's been able to find us. We really ought to fix this girl now.
Shut up, you fool. Turn that spaceophone off.
Just a minute, Eagle. I know where you are and what you're up to. If either you or Baxter harm Tonga, both of you will regret it the rest of your lives.
Well, so your real name is Tonga, the assistant security chief.
That's right.
Corey, I got a proposition to make to you.
What is it?
If we turn Tonga loose, will you let us alone?
You know I couldn't make a bargain like that.
Well, I'm willing to take a gamble, Corey. I know you'll keep after us, but I'll trade Tonga for a few minutes' time. There's a small check a few hundred yards down the highway. I'll leave Tonga there. How about it, Corey? It's your best chance to get her back safely.
All right, Eagle. I'll get you anyway, but I warn you, don't try to double-cross me.
Cut the spaceophone off, Baxter.
It's off.
Here's the shack. We got to work faster. Corey's landing right where I figured he would. Stay behind the trees until he's out of the ship.
Why don't we get in the car and get to your ship? Why waste time?
While Corey is in the shack rescuing Tonga, we'll put his weapons out of commission.
Why not wreck the controls so he can't blast off?
Yeah, and have him alert other space patrol units? Our best bet is to have Corey after us himself.
Tell me your ship is faster than Terra 5.
No, but his ship isn't faster than the Shark.
The Shark?
Yeah, it's a cosmic missile with a special view scope device. I have one aboard my ship. And once it's launched at Corey's ship, he can dodge it or outrun it.
Yes, and with his own cosmic weapons out of commission, he can't fire at the Shark.
That's right. He can run all over the solar system. But sooner or later, the Shark will get him. Come on, get ready. Corey and the Cadet are getting out of the ship.
Here's the shack, sir. I sure hope they kept their word and left Tonga here.
Eagle and Baxter are putting a lot of faith in a few minutes' head start. It won't do them much good. Try the door, Hal.
Thanks.
Commander, Happy.
Are you all right, Tonga?
Yes, Commander.
Oh, they've got her tied, hand and foot.
To give them more time, they probably would have locked the door if they could. Here, I'll cut those ropes, Tonga.
Thank you, Commander. I tried to find out exactly where Eagle's spaceship was. All I know is that it's not too far from here.
Happy and I looked for it from the air, but it must have been hidden.
Hey, the ship blasting off.
Probably Eagle's. Let's see. By the time we walk through the woods back to our ship, they'll have about 5 minutes start on us.
5 minutes? Well, that isn't going to do them much good.
They picked us up, Eagle. Good. Now let's give Corey a run for his money.
When are you going to launch the guided missiles at them?
Well, we'll wait till they get closer. First, we leave Corey out of the regular lane. I don't want him to call for help when we launch the Shark.
We aren't gaining very fast, sir.
They must realize they can't escape. Turn on the space phone, Happy, and I'll order them to surrender. Commander Corey aboard Terra 5 to Milton Eagle aboard Private Cruiser 398. Come in.
Eagle to Commander Corey. Is something wrong, Commander?
Eagle, the smartest thing you can do is surrender. Head for Saturn. It's the closest planet.
Sorry. We have other plans.
I order you to surrender. We're armed, you know.
Oh, of course.
Happy, stand by to fire a warning rocket.
Yes, sir.
Eagle, I don't want to use force unless it's necessary, but I'm prepared to do it.
Commander, something's wrong with the firing mechanism.
What?
The electronic controls are out of order.
What about number 2?
Well, they're all out of order, sir.
That's right, Commander. Baxter and I took care of that while you were rescuing Tonga.
We can still overtake you, Eagle. Meanwhile, we can call units from Saturn.
You're going to be pretty busy, Commander. Baxter and I are sending you a present. Catch.
Eagle, if you fire on a space patrol ship, you'll be blasted out of space.
Commander, look at the viewscope. Something's leaving their ship.
It's not a regular missile, sir. It's too slow.
It may seem slow now, Cadet, but wait.
Eagle, what did you just release?
A weapon with your picture on it, Commander.
It's gaining velocity, sir.
It's a guided type missile with a cosmic warhead. Have fun. Eagle out.
Happy. Change vector for Saturn.
For Saturn, sir?
Yes, and put on all the acceleration we can stand.
Getting closer, Commander.
Head for Saturn's rings, Happy.
For the rings?
Yes, get on a tangent with the outer ring.
All right, sir, but... Well,
Commander.
Yes, sir.
The rings are made up of big chunks of rock. If we get too close...
That's the idea, Tonga. We'll get as close as possible. We're going to let those rocks run interference for us.
What an idea. Just like football at technology school. Blocking back, trailing you.
Tonga, bring the forward view scope up to full sensitivity. We'll pick out a nice big rock.
Yes, Commander.
Missile's awfully close, sir. At this rate, it'll hit us in a few seconds.
There's a giant hunk of rock dead ahead.
Good. I'll hit the controls now, Happy. I'm going to see how close I can come to that rock. Tonga, watch the rear view scope.
The missile's awfully close.
Fine. We're going to jaywalk right in front of that rock.
Wow. Oh, Boy, was that close. Smoking rockets, have you ever seen such fire?
Watch the rear view scope.
The rock. It blew up right behind us.
Guided missile hit it. Oh, that was luck.
Luck, nothing. That was the trickiest spaceship piloting in the universe, Commander. You hit a guided missile with an unguided missile.
Let's take care of some unfinished business. Eagle and Baxter.
How are we going to find them now?
I don't think it'll be difficult. They figure we're out of the way, so they might go back to their original plan.
The Crawlock River place?
We'll try it. Take over, Happy. We're clear of the ring.
Well, I lined up another ship for us, Baxter.
Good. When do we leave Crawlock?
In a few hours. One of my men is bringing a ship in from Neptune City.
It can't be too soon to suit me. I don't like this place.
What are you so jittery about? We don't have to worry about Corey anymore.
I know. I just don't like Neptune. I'm used to Venus. You get plenty of sunshine.
Get your hands up, Eagle.
You too, Baxter. Get the weapons, Happy.
Yes, sir.
Corey, how did you... The guided missile, you couldn't have escaped the shark.
The shark, if that's what you call it, stubbed its nose on a rock just off Saturn. As a pet, it wasn't too trustworthy.
You were so sure you'd finish Corey, I told you not to come here. Nah, Baxter. No recrimination. We gambled and we lost. Take it easy, Baxter. Like me.
No, you don't, Eagle. Now, Eagle. Are you ready to come along?
Yeah, sure. Okay, Corey. I'll come along.
Yeah, you're not very agile, Eagle. You'd better stick to taking it easy, like Baxter.
An exciting preview of next week's thrilling Space Patrol story in just a moment. Hey, watch out. Hold everything. Here he comes down the rink so fast his ice skates are melting the ice. Wow, that's a checkerboard kid. He's supercharged. And a good breakfast with a checkerboard super cereal did it. A breakfast with swell-tasting instant roastin'. Here he comes again. Stand back. Jumpin' Jupiter, that boy's a winner. He's got the speed of Buzz Corey himself. And how about you, gang? How about getting supercharged so you can whiz along just like that? Just do this. Have a good breakfast with Instant Roastin', the hot super cereal. The delicious hot cereal that helps to turn on your starter. Makes you bright as a light and helps to keep you right on the beam. That's what it does for the Commander. That's what it'll do for you. Here comes the checkerboard kid again on those flying ice skates. Don't wait, gang. Be a winner yourself. Get supercharged. Eat a good breakfast with the delicious hot super cereal, Instant Roastin'. And now for a preview of next week's exciting Space Patrol story. Buzz and Happy and their spacesuits on a tiny asteroid are approaching a criminal who has stolen evidence that's needed to convict a crime syndicate.
He's got the metal box, sir, with the evidence.
All right, Chora. Come out of that crater and get into our ship. I'm getting into my own ship, Corey, and you're not going to stop me.
All right, we'll come down and get you.
Take one more step and I'll use this gun on you. All right, have it your way. I warned you.
Drop, Happy.
Wow, that was close. The gun chipped a hunk of rock loose as big as your head.
Stand still, Happy. I think Chora means business.
Yeah, he does. And it isn't funny business either.
Be sure to be with us next Saturday for the exciting story, The Search for Asteroid X, when wheat checks, rice checks, and good hot roastin' again bring you Space Patrol! And now, an important message from Commander Buzz Corey.
Did you ever read in the paper about a boy or girl saving somebody's life? Ever wish you could do something like that? Well, you can. Just join my Space Patrol blood boosters. Here's what we do. We try to get more people to donate blood to the Red Cross. When you get somebody to donate blood, you save a life. So, boys and girls, join my Space Patrol blood boosters today.
Space Patrol, an original Mike Moser production starring Ed Kemmer as Commander Corey and Lynn Osborne as Cadet Happy, was written by Lou Houston and directed by Larry Robertson. Other players were Bela Kovac, Ken Mayer, and Nina Berra. Dick Tufeld speaking. Now, don't forget to tune in next Saturday and every Saturday when wheat checks, rice checks, and good hot roastin' again present the new exciting Space Patrol. And be sure to see another exciting Space Patrol story on your local ABC television station. Consult your local paper for time and channel. Space Patrol comes to you transcribed from Hollywood. This is ABC Radio Network.